Christmas past.
And I am the ghost of Christmas future.
Christmas? Bah! Humbug!
Scrooge, you cannot turn your back on your fellow man. You will die lonely and friendless and miserable unless you learn the error of your ways.
Oh, perish for bed spirits, not that. No longer will I say, Christmas, bah, humbug. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year.
So be it, Scrooge.
So be it, Scrooge.
And it was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed that knowledge. And may that be truly said of us, and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed,
God bless us, everyone.
That, my young gluttons for punishment, was Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. Forgive us, Charlie. Thank you, students. You may be seated. You were, interesting.
Yes, I was rather, wasn't I?
Class, as you have seen, Dickens ingeniously employs ghostly spirits to show Ebenezer Scrooge just how lonely his future Christmases will be unless he changes his ways. Now, tell me, how would you describe the character Scrooge at the beginning of the story?
A pitiful creature.
A wretched clod.
A miserable wreck.
You rang?
Dobie! Dobie!
There are some people in this town who say that my friend Maynard G. Krebs is peculiar, odd, eccentric, weird, strange. I'm one of those people. But there's a difference. You see, I love Maynard, and I never laugh at him. I cry at him pretty often, but laugh? No.
I'm almost ready for class, Mr. Pomfret, sir.
Fine, but we have a problem.
Yeah?
Class was dismissed 10 minutes ago. Somewhere between the second muffler and the Mackinaw.
I goofed again. I'm nothing but a goof artist.
Oh, I wouldn't say that, Maynard.
I'm not a goof artist?
I wouldn't say that either.
I haven't done nothing right since I was born.
Oh, now, Maynard.
I didn't even do that right. I was supposed to be a girl.
Maynard.
For 2 years, my father called me Sylvia.
Maynard!
I don't even like the name. Elspeth, maybe? Or Gwyneth? But
Maynard,
Sylvia?
please!
Even Felicia would be...
Maynard! Enough. Now, look, Maynard, my boy. Has it ever occurred to you that perhaps you're trying too hard to please everybody by being a clown, a Pagliacci?
Polly who?
Pagliacci. He was a character in a... Never mind. What I'm trying to say, Maynard, is you don't have to attract attention to yourself by being odd and different. Why not just try to be one of the gang?
How could I do that, Mr. Pomfret, sir? I mean, they go out on dates, and they go to dances, and they throw parties and like that. I couldn't do none of them things.
Who said you can't?
Me, I just said it. Didn't you hear me?
Maynard, I mean, what's to prevent you from, say, giving a party, inviting your friends over, giving them some refreshments? Show them that you, Maynard G. Krebs, are just as good as the next fellow.
Me? Maynard G. Krebs throw a party? Yeah, I could do it. Oh, a swinging Christmas party with popcorn and a tree and like deck the halls and bobbing for apples and setting off firecrackers and...
Firecrackers? For Christmas?
Yeah, that's Halloween. I'm gonna do it, Mr. Pomfret, sir. I'm gonna throw the swingingest bash Central High School has ever saw.
Now, just a minute, Chatsworth. Just a darn minute. What makes you so sure I want to come to your party?
Oh, you'll be there, Gillis, baby. Just wait till I bewitch you with a list of entertainers.
Oh, sure. I bet you're going to have Peggy Lee, Tommy Sands, Dinah Shore, and Frank Sinatra singing a quartet with background music by Thelonious Monk and the Kingston Trio.
They're for the intermission show. Now guess who we're having for the main entertainment?
Never mind.
You know, we aristocratic Osborns traditionally rub elbows with the peasantry once each year at this sort of outing. Something to do with democracy or some such. Ho, 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 Gillis, baby. See you Christmas Eve. And as for a present, don't bother to bring anything inexpensive. On, Rudolph.
Oh, that Chatsworth Osborne Jr. makes me so mad.
Mad schmad. We're going to his party and don't argue.
Zelda, you gotta be joshing. Who wants to spend Christmas Eve with a bunch of conceited characters who run around with their noses up in the air?
The noses may be in the air, Dobie, but they're important noses and you need them.
I need their noses?
Let's face facts, Poopsie.
Yeah, pray let's.
You, my sweet, lovable, warm-hearted, incompetent fumble fingers are in trouble.
Oh, now hold on,
Quiet, boy,
Zelda.
I'm saving you from the soup kitchens. Look, Dobie, physically, you're almost 18 years old, an adult. But mentally, you're still in diapers.
No, now listen, Zelda.
Silence. Are you a scholar? No. Are you a businessman? No. Are you talented? No. Are you ever going to be a whopping success?
No.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, because you have one hidden quality, People like you.
They do?
I do, and I'm highly perceptive. Together we will turn Dobie Gillis, the formless blob of mediocrity, into Dobie Gillis, the whopping success.
Yeah.
We'll cash in on your one worthwhile quality and keep you off the dole.
Yeah, how, Zelda, how?
By putting you in with the proper people, important people, influential people, people who will like you and who will shove you up the ladder of achievement.
Oh, go, Zelda, go.
Look, the Osborns mix only with the highest type people, ambassadors, millionaires, tycoons, and you're gonna dive right smack into the mixture.
Oh, I will.
Stick with me and we'll make beautiful music together, Poopsie.
Zelda, now cut that out. No, even that isn't going to keep me away from Chatsworth's Christmas Eve party. Nothing's going to keep me away. Nothing.
Hey, Dobe, guess who's throwing a party on Christmas Eve?
We already heard about it. Chatsworth Osborne Jr.
No, Maynard G. Krebs.
You, Maynard?
Sure, how many Maynard G. Krebses do you know?
On Christmas Eve?
Sure, yeah, I'm through being a clown of Pagliaccio. I'm gonna throw the wildest wingding any garage in this town has ever saw.
In a garage?
Yeah, I talked to my father. It's the only part of the house he'll let me have. Oh, it's like going with a party in a garage. We can string like popcorn on the grease rack and colored lights and the oil cans and lots of yaks, huh? And I'll drag down my record player, and I already spent my allowance for the next year and a half on food and soda pop and stuff like that. But what's money?
Maynard.
And I invite a lot of kids I like and some I don't like, but on Christmas Eve it ain't nice to hate nobody.
Zelda?
You gotta tell them.
Maynard, I can't come to your party. I've got the future to think about. I've got to start making contacts. That's why I can't turn down the invitation to Chatsworth's party.
Chatsworth's party? Oh, man, you gotta be kidding. Crazy.
Now, Maynard, stop that.
Well, I like to stay here and make jolly with you cats all day, but I gotta go finish getting everything ready for the blast.
Maynard.
Boy, and money's no object. I'm very large at the dime store, yeah.
Maynard, listen.
You see, 8 o'clock Christmas Eve, and you don't have to bring me a present, but naturally you will.
Boy, what a problem. And what a headache. For 3 days I sat on it. On the problem, not the headache. You see, I had to figure out which is more important. Getting ahead in the world or friendship. Yeah, this is a very deep question, and it ought to be answered by some of the giant minds of our society. By a Supreme Court judge or Dr. Schweitzer or Jack Parr. But here I was stuck with it, and I had nobody to go to for help.
What do you mean, nobody? Son, just remember, whenever you got a problem, your good old dad is never too busy to lend a hand. Anytime.
Gee, thanks, Dad. I've got this problem now that I could sure use some help with.
Later, can't you see I'm busy?
Dad, you said you'd help me.
That'll teach me to volunteer. Okay, boy, what's ailing you?
Well, it's an ethical problem, and I don't want you to jump to a conclusion until you've heard all the pros and cons.
Stop beating around the bush. What subject are you flunking?
I'm not flunking anything. This is about Maynard.
Maynard? Oh, you need a Supreme Court judge or Dr. Schweitzer or Jack Parr.
Dad, Maynard's invited me to a party at his house.
Enjoy yourself, son.
But maybe I shouldn't go.
Maybe not.
Because I've also been invited to a party that Chatsworth Osborne Jr.'s throwing.
Oh, that's nice. Enjoy yourself,
But
son.
maybe I shouldn't go to that one either.
Maybe
I
not.
have to decide which is more important, Maynard's friendship or the important contacts I'll make if I go to Chatsworth's.
Remember, boy, the most important thing in this world is friendship.
Then you advise me to forget about Chatsworth's party and go to Maynard's?
What? If a fellow don't look out for number one, who's going to do it for him? Get what I mean?
You mean I should go to Chatsworth's because I'll meet the right people there?
Remember, friendship is more valuable than gold.
I should go to Maynard's?
But to get ahead, it isn't what you know, it's who you know.
I should go to Chatsworth's?
Remember, a friend in need is a friend indeed.
Maynard's?
But if you are going to go far, hitch your wagon to a star.
Chatsworth's?
Just remember, son, many a man has ridden to success on the coattails of his important friends.
Chatsworth's?
To win a friend, be one.
Maynard?
Well, any more questions, son?
Just one.
Shoot.
What do I do about the party tonight?
What do you mean, what do? You just follow the advice I've been giving you. That's what you do. And remember, anytime you need help, just call on your good old helpful dad.
Hello, Dobie.
Oh, hi, Mom.
Dear, I know you were worried about something. Did your father help you answer your problem?
I'm not sure, but there must have been an answer buried in there someplace. I'm going upstairs and lie down a while before the party.
Dobie Gillis.
Who are you?
I'm not a who. I'm a what?
Leave me alone, please.
I'm like a ghost.
What do you want with me?
I'm like an all-purpose ghost. Whenever I say the magic words, I change into the spirit of Christmas past. Doggone, I forgot the magic words. Well, I guess I'll have to change in the spirit of Christmas past the hard way.
Please, Spirit, no.
Quiet, Earth boy, I'm gonna make the switch. Like, behold.
Yeah, I remember that Christmas past. We were about 4 years old. Maynard had just flunked out of nursery school for the 3rd time. Fella's got to think about his future, his career, what's to become of it.
He's also got to think about what's going to become of his good buddy. And when his good buddy is Maynard G. Krebs, man, that takes a lot of thinking.
But, Spirit, can't I forget about him?
Forget your good buddy? For shame, Dobie Scrooge. You must now witness the miserable result of your miserable wretchedness. Ahoy, I will now become the spirit of Christmas future. Hey, I remembered the magic words. Abba-dabba-doo-doo, this'll suit ya. I'm now the spirit of Christmas future. Like horror.
Good evening, Zelda, my dear. Good evening, Zelda, my dear. Yeah, Tremblay, tell Mrs. Gillis that Mr. Gillis says, good evening, Zelda, my dear.
As you say so. Good evening, Zelda, my dear.
Well, hi, Poopsie. Tremblay, tell Mr. Gillis.
As you wish, madam.
Now cut that out!
Dobie, dear, we've been invited to dinner at the Montmorencys tomorrow night.
Oh? Are they interesting?
Fascinating.
Are they amusing?
Oh, terribly.
Can they advance my career?
No.
Forget them.
That's my Dobie. Onward and upward to contacts and success and successful contacts.
Tremblay, where's the main course? Oh. When I've got money, who needs food? Or friends? Or anything?
Tremblay, at the window, what is that?
So, whatever it is, it defies description. I'd best set the dogs on it.
Oh, no, Tremblay, the poor waif looks familiar, especially around the beard and sweatshirt.
Ridiculous. How could you, a moneyed Gillis, know such a creature?
You're right, of course, my dear Zelda. Tremblay, chase him off the premises. I refuse to be bothered with people who cannot advance my career.
That's the spirit, Buster.
Merry Christmas to you all.
Maynard, Maynard, come back. Maynard, I didn't mean to snub you. Maynard.
Oh, Mom.
Dobie, what is it, Dobie?
Oh, I guess I was having a dream. It was awful.
Oh, well, you'll feel better once you get to Chatsworth's party. I pressed your suit for you.
Oh, thanks, Mom, but about Chatsworth's
I'll be
party.
so proud. My handsome son, mingling with all those important people, meeting friends who really amount to something.
Mom.
Your dad and I are just plain people, Dobie, but it makes us so very happy to know that our son is accepted and liked by the Osborns and their friends.
Mom, listen.
When you get back from the party, promise to wake me up and tell me all about it. Every detail, mind you, no matter how late it is.
Sure, Mom. I promise.
Ah, the fair Zelda and Dobie do.
Yeah, Zelda thought it'd be rather an amusing little lark.
Oh, mon cher Dobie, I scarcely think amusing is the proper word to describe an Osborne party.
Oh, jazzy?
Please.
Jolly?
Well, hardly.
Sporty?
Try expensive.
Expensive?
That's the word. And just par exemple, voila.
Boy, that's sure a lot of walla.
Man, I hope this isn't too fancy. I don't look like no show-off. No, Maynard. You must be the perfect mine host. Save the popcorn for your hungry good buddies. Boy, they'll be like clomping in here any minute now. I wonder where they are.
Dobie, who was that distinguished-looking man you were talking to?
Oh, some lawyer friend of the Osbornes. He wants me to call him in case I ever decide to become an attorney.
How marvelous. All these smashing contacts. Big, valuable.
Yeah, big, valuable.
Oh, good buddies. Like, welcome. Oh, like, hi. Hey. Merry Christmas, Cat. No offense, but you better leave, because my good friends are going to be here any second. No, don't go, Cat. It's like lonesome here all alone. But I'm absolutely, positively, definitely positive my good friends are like unavoidably detained. Probably. So we'll wait here together, huh, Cat? Atta, Cat. Happy Yuletide, Cat.
Uncle Midas, one must concede that Gillis here springs from peasant stock, but he is hardworking and conscientious in his own dreary way. Perhaps you should talk to him about going to work in one of your banks.
Dobie, what's the matter with you? All these sensational contacts and you stand around with all the personality of a wet noodle.
Zelda, my heart just isn't in it.
I don't care about your heart. It's your teeth I want to see. Smiling. Now get back in there and make with the charm. Show Uncle Midas you're the kind of man his bank can't get along without.
Let me out of here. Let me out. Let me out.
Don't be afraid. Uncle Midas is no different from any other fabulously wealthy tycoon.
Zelda, can't you see that...
Come on, Dobie.
Meanwhile, you and me, Cat, we'll celebrate Christmas. Like Bah Hamburg?
Dobie, snap out of it. Now look, that fellow over there talking to Chatsworth, his father is the plastic lamination king.
Oh, boy.
Shape up, boy. We're gonna meet him.
Merry Christmas.
There. You gotta be kidding.
Dobie, have you slipped your trolley altogether? Come on.
Merry Christmas.
Zelda. Zelda.
Merry Christmas.
Gillis.
Christmas. Like Bah Hamburg? You sure you want to stay, Cat? I mean, you probably got friends waiting for you down at the city dump for the big Christmas Eve blowout. I mean, it's Christmas Eve and everybody's got friends waiting. Christmas. Like Bah Himbug?
Dobie, speak to me, Poopsie.
Gillis, old cabbage, you look as if you've just seen a ghost.
I just saw myself.
Even worse.
Oh, hush up, Chatsworth.
Look, I don't belong here. Sure, this party's a big smash and we're all having a gay old time, but there's somebody missing. A friend of ours. A fella who always goes out of his way to help, who'd give you the sweatshirt off his back if you ask for it. He's waiting for us right now, but we let him down. He's waiting for the people he thought he could call his friends, us. He's waiting for his best friend, me, because I let him down worse than anybody. Look, I don't know about the rest of you, but Christmas Eve isn't only caviar and fancy decorations and truffles and like that. It's a night you ought to spend with your friends. And that's where I'm going right now, to my friend's party, if he'll still call me his friend.
Dobie, wait!
No, Zelda, my mind's made up.
I'm going with you, you idiot. I had no right to try and make you dump poor Maynard.
Oh, Zelda, I love you.
You hurt him! You hurt! You hurt! You hurt us!
Zelda!
You hurt us! Everybody hurt! Don't forget!
Zelda!
Don't forget this night!
Zelda! Now cut that out! Zelda!
Zelda!
Old Chatsworth Osborne Jr. His party ain't the only one that's got entertainment. We got it too. George Shearing, Hank Mancini, Dizzy Gillespie. Goodbye, old Diz. Well, those are the breaks. Hey! Hey, did you hear that, Cat? I dropped the platter, so I said those. Nothing. Yeah, you're right. It's like women.
Can you ever call me good again?
Sure, good buddy. I just did it.
Oh, thanks, Maynard. Thanks, good buddy.
Hey, let's start on the food. I'm starving.
Oh, well, we got some popcorn, sort of soggy, and some peanuts, kind of stale, and hot dogs with icicles. Name your choice.
Well, on second thought, I better not. I always eat too much during the holidays anyway, Maynard.
The only thing missing is the entertainment. I understand the Osborns are planning to put on quite a show.
Oh, yes? Well, it just happens that we have entertainment,
We
too.
have?
Nothing
Oh.
but the best.
Oh.
Dobie, sing.
Gee,
And you better just sing. Here, honey, you play the guitar.
Yes.
I don't know, Dad.
Your singing lesson set me back $24. Now sing, boy. And sing loud. I want to get my money's worth.
I pass your house every day. I pass your house and I pray. I pray that you still love me true. Love me as I love you. I pass your house every night. I see your silhouette in the light. I pray my love will see you through till I'm again with you.
Ghost. Pretty noisy ones. I can't hear my $24 worth of singing lessons. Hey, you out there, quiet!
You too, Chatsworth? But of course, Dobie do. You observe how the Christmas spirit overwhelms the average citizen. So? So you can imagine the shattering effect when it strikes an Osborne. Attention there. We shall now sing another chorus of that jovial Yuletide chanson.
Chanson?
Mm-hmm. You will follow my beat precisely. Decked all with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel, fa la 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 la.
Ho, 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 ho. Like Merry Christmas, Mr. Gillis.
And ho, 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 and a Merry Christmas to you, Maynard.
Oh, and a very Merry Christmas to you, good buddy.
The same to you, Maynard. Always.
Dinner's ready. Come and get it.
Nobody can roast a turkey like you, Winnie.
Maynard, you stay and have dinner with us, won't you?
You talked me into it, Mrs. G.
Yeah, come on, miss.
Boys, aren't you coming?
You better start without us, Mom. I'm waiting for my best buddy.
Creamy Dobie. Once a gal was creamy Dobie.
wants a gal to call his own. Is she blonde? Is she tall? Is she dark? Is she small? Is she any kind of dreamer at all? No matter, he's hers and hers alone. 'Cause Dobie has to have a girl to call his own.
A man who is willful and vital and strong.
That was Yvette. Kind of a spooky girl, huh? And way off the beam. I mean, the kind of rough, tough, rock-headed man she's talking about just doesn't exist anymore. Except in horror movies.
For 23 years, I've been an independent grocer, and for 23 years, those crumb bums have been robbing me. There's only one way to treat lowlifes like that. Kick them out in the street, rough them up, knock a few teeth out.
That was my father. A simple, gentle, home-loving, outspoken man. Now, what's he got to do with that French crepe Suzette? Good question. And if you're looking for a good answer...
I myself prefer the man who treats me rough, who yell at me, who treats me like the beast of the jungle treat his mate.
Winnie, I am telling you that this is a dog-eat-dog world. The only people who die here are people who act like tigers.
See this book? It's called How to Hypnotize Your Friends for Fun and Profit. And it's really interesting. It's also part of the reason my father got fouled up with this female Maurice Chevalier. You wouldn't think paper and a little ink could blow up such a hurricane.
Dobie, you are not developing. You are not using your mind. You are not fulfilling your promise. You are not being true to yourself.
Mom, I was just playing a little music.
Fine. You want to play music, you play good music.
Like madrigals?
Like madrigals, like fugues, like etudes, like nocturnes.
Fugues, etudes, nocturnes.
You see, you don't even know what they mean.
Good thinking.
Maybe if you'd read a book occasionally, you'd learn a few words. When's the last time you read a book?
It just so happens I read a book last night.
Oh? What was that?
Oh, just a book.
What was the title, Dobie?
How to Hypnotize Your Friends.
Where on earth did you get a ridiculous piece of junk like that?
Dad gave it to me.
It happens to be a very interesting book. Winnie, one of the guys down at the lodge gave it to me.
Oh, I see. You got it from one of your learned colleagues at the lodge. Which one? The one that collects old license plates, or the one who spends the summer vacation trying to beat the flagpole sitting record?
Now, just a darn minute. Those are great guys, and every man jack of them is a veteran.
Oh, Herbert, I know they are great guys.
Yeah, they're my kind of guys. After all, I ain't no Albert Einstein, you know.
You sure ain't, Dad.
You butt out.
Herbert, I know you are not Albert Einstein.
And you, by the way, don't happen to be Madame Curie either.
That's right. You are not Professor Einstein, and I am not Madame Curie. But just because we are a couple of dull, ordinary people, does that mean that Dobie has to be too?
Oh, I don't think you're dull and ordinary, Mom. Or you either, Dad.
Thanks, boy.
Well, maybe a little dull and ordinary. But you're my parents who gave me birth and walked the floor with me when I was little and fed me and clothed me and raised me to manhood. And I'm not going to turn my back on you no matter what anybody says.
You're all right, son.
He is not all right. He's stagnating. His mind is shriveling up like a prune. Look what he reads, How to Hypnotize Your Friends. Why don't you read Shakespeare, Dickens, Shelley?
What for? School's out this week.
But you see, to our son, literature is a chore, not a beautiful, rewarding experience. The boy has no appreciation at all for culture.
Mom, maybe I don't have any appreciation for culture, but my posture's good, and I've got a lot of friends, and I'm happy. And that's the most important thing, isn't it?
Yes, Dobie, that's a very important thing, but it is also important to enrich your mind and exalt your soul. And we are not going to delay another minute. Get your coat. You are coming with me.
I am?
You certainly are. I was on my way to my club, but I remember reading in the paper that there's a touring exhibit of LeBlanc at the County Museum, and I have just decided that we are going.
Oh, well, gee, Mom, there's nothing in the world I'd rather do, but I got some plans for this afternoon.
What plans?
Well, you see, Maynard and I figured we'd go downtown and watch this fella toss flapjacks.
Oh, he's great, isn't he?
Boy, but he is coming with me to the touring LeBlanc exhibit.
Right, son. You are going with your mother, and I don't want to pry, but what is a touring LeBlanc exhibit?
Yeah.
LeBlanc just happens to be one of the world's great French painters, that's all. And he is touring the country with a collection of his paintings.
Oh, no, you don't. We have raised this boy up to be a fine, decent, upstanding, all-American boy, and he isn't going anywhere to look at any French pictures.
Thank you.
I am shocked. Do you want him to go on the way he is? Ignorant, dull, stupid, wishy-washy, slack, uninformed?
You rang?
Oh, hi, Maynard.
Like hi, good buddy. Like hi, Mrs. G. Like hi, Mr. G.
No, it's only you, Maynard.
It's only you, Maynard. It's only you. That's what everybody says when I come in. It's only you. It's only you.
Maynard, I didn't mean it that
Sure,
way.
nobody means nothing. All they do is treat me like dirt. It's only you, Maynard. Do they ever say, how are you, Maynard? Do they ever say, welcome, Maynard? Do they ever say, glad to see you, Maynard? No. It's only you, Maynard. That's all they ever say. Well, I'd rather have someone say, get out, Maynard.
Get out, Maynard.
You're joshing, ain't you, Mrs. G?
No, dear, I mean it. Maynard, you know I'm very fond of you. You've never heard me say it's only you, Maynard.
Like true.
But, dear, we are having a little private family discussion, so if you wouldn't mind just getting out.
All the way out?
All the way out.
What do I like do out there?
Well, you could eat a banana. You like bananas?
Like, yeah. We'll have to wait like long?
Just a few minutes.
Oh. Well, I eat like all fast, Mrs. G.
These will hold you, Maynard.
Thanks, Mrs. G.
Right, goodbye, Maynard.
Like cool.
That wasn't very kind, Mom. I mean, Maynard's got feelings like everybody else.
I know it, dear, and I didn't enjoy pushing him out of here. Maynard is a dear, sweet, well-meaning boy, and I know that you couldn't find a more loyal friend.
That's right. He sticks with me through thick and thin. Anywhere I go, he goes.
Which is precisely the trouble.
Huh?
Dear, I know how close you and Maynard are, but wouldn't it be nice if you saw somebody else for a little while? Somebody a little more cultured, perhaps.
You want me to dump Maynard? Never. As long as there's breath in my body, Maynard's got a friend.
Yay, good buddy, yay.
Oh, no, Mom, he reads lips.
He reads lips?
Yeah, he sent for this course. There was a coupon in back of a comic book, see, and he sent it away and got this course. And he learned it all by himself. So it just isn't fair to go around saying my friend Maynard isn't cultured. Come on, Maynard. On the way to the Flapjacks, we can stop off at the gas station and watch him wash cars.
Oh, dear, I didn't mean to upset Dobie. I don't want him to give up Maynard. I only want him to find some friends who are interested in literature, art, and music.
What do people like that they want with Dobie?
Somewhere, somehow, Dobie has got to find a cultured friend. He's got to, that's all. He's just got to.
Where are you going?
To the LeBlanc exhibit. At least one member of this family is going to sop up some culture. And I shall try to pass it on to your son.
Well, have fun.
Herbert, I have a wonderful idea. Why don't you come with me?
Madame, did you like the painting?
Well, yes, indeed, yes. It's magnificent.
Of course, the artist is a genius.
Oh, yes. It's so...
Je ne sais quoi.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
But we have other masterpieces over here. And also, may I present myself? I'm Aristide Leblanc.
Not the painter.
Yes, c'est moi.
Oh, goodness, this is an honor.
I would say.
Oh.
And may I ask your name, gracious lady?
Oh, Mrs. Herbert T. Gillis. Moi aussi.
You speak French?
Well, I took a bit in high school.
Ah, combien je suis heureux et fortuné de trouver quelqu'un qui parle les sons de mon pays dans cette terre barbare. Qui donc, parmi ces sauvages, pourrait être aussi natal et vrai, n'est-ce pas?
Yes, isn't it?
Quoi?
Perhaps we had better stick to English, Signor.
Signor?
I mean, it's so long since I was in high school.
Oh, it can't have been so long, a lady as young as yourself.
Oh, Signor, you are enchanté.
Possibly.
Well, it certainly is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Signor. Tell me, are you enjoying your visit to our country?
Eh bien, on does what one can to improve one's relations with one's allies, n'est-ce pas?
Oh, yes, Pa. And how long are you going to stay?
Oh, 2-3 months, perhaps.
Is that all?
Well, one has to return one's daughter to the school.
Oh, you have your little girl here.
Not so little. She has 17 years.
You have a daughter, 17 years old?
Yes, and a wife, Elak, 45.
Your daughter, would you say she was a cultured girl?
But of course, is she not my daughter?
Senor, I bet I know what you and your family would like.
And what would that be?
A nice, simple, home-cooked American meal.
Sacré bleu.
Oh, I thought so. Well, we're right around the corner and we'll expect you. Gillis's Grocery, we live upstairs.
No, madam.
Oh, nonsense. You know you love it. Now, you be there.
What can one say?
Splendid. We eat at 5:30.
Lunch.
Dinner.
Quel barbarisme.
And of course, you'll bring your daughter. I promise you she won't be bored. I have a son her age, Dobie.
Dopey?
Dobie with a B. A fine boy, so intelligent, so sensitive, so cultured.
That's a good buddy. Keep the lips nice and loose. You're doing fine, though. Let's try one, huh?
Okay, Maynard.
And I appreciate this. You taking all this time to help me practice lip reading.
Ah, forget it, Maynard. What are friends for?
Oh, you're 100%, though. Now, you go over there where I can't hear you and talk nice and slow, but not loud enough for me to hear, okay?
Okay, Maynard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Dobe, I'm ready.
Here goes. I think that I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree.
A penny saved is a penny earned. Right, Dobe?
No, Maynard.
Sure, I knew it. Try another one.
Shoot if you must this old gray head, but spare my country's flag, she said.
The quick brown fox jumped over the great dog. Great, huh?
Maynard.
They're too easy this way. Watch me do the next one the hard way.
Maynard.
Go ahead, Dobe, I'm ready.
Maynard, I hate to say this, but you don't know how to read lips.
The boy stood on the burning deck eating peanuts by the peck. Wonderful, huh, Dobe?
That's what it was, Maynard. Wonderful.
Yeah, and some people say I got no talent. How come?
Jealousy, Maynard. Pure jealousy.
Yeah.
Couldn't you find something a little more conservative?
For your information, Mrs. Gillis, this happens to be a hand-painted tie. And he is a hand painter, ain't he?
Hi, Mom.
Oh, you look lovely, dear.
Thanks. Hey, Mom, I got to cut and run right after dinner. Maynard's waiting for me down on River Street. They're bringing a whole slew of steam shovels over to start excavating the foundation for the new city dump.
The new city
So
dump
we
will
figured-
just have to wait.
we-
You will stay here and be polite to our cultured guest, Senor LeBlanc, and his wife and daughter.
His daughter? How old is she?
About your age.
Hey, a French girl about my age? Oh, boy. Hey, Mom, you're all right. No offense, Mom, but this girl, she wouldn't be stuffed with culture and education and all like that, would she?
It's possible.
Mom, admit it. You're trying to clobber me with culture.
All right, it's true. I'm not ashamed of it. If you won't make any effort to improve yourself, then it's your mother's duty.
Don't fight her, boy. When she gets like this, you can't stop her without you use a gun.
A very large gun. Get the appetizers.
You think she's stubborn? You should have met her father. We used to call him Old Granite Head.
Senors, welcome to my home.
May I have the honor to present my wife and my daughter Yvette?
Enchante, enchante. And enchanté to see you again, senor. And may I present my husband, Herbert T.
How do you
Oh, likewise, I'm sure.
No, my wife, she doesn't speak the English.
What'd she say?
When do we eat?
Yeah, that a girl, Frenchie. Winnie, why don't we sit down and dig in? My stomach's rather like a cage full of lions. Well, it's your fault. Your cooking always makes me hungry.
Please,
oh, she's the best little cook and the most attractive woman in this part of town.
Well, dinner will be served in just a few moments. Meanwhile, I have prepared some delicious hors d'oeuvres.
Qu'est-ce qu'il dit?
Bientôt, nous allons manger des hors d'oeuvre.
Ah, hors d'oeuvre! Quand?
Quand? My wife, she has a great appetite.
Well, don't let it worry you, Buster. There's nothing wrong with a healthy woman, and your wife is one of the healthiest I've seen.
This is my son, Dobie.
Allô, oh no!
Mom?
Well, dear, give Madame some appetizers.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I understand that you're a painter.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's quite a coincidence. My father was a painter, too.
Oh.
And a paper hanger. Well, shall we sit down?
Oh, no, Yvette, don't you want to sit next to Dobie?
Not unbearably.
What difference does it make where they sit? These things are all the same size.
Tell me, Yvette, are you having a nice time in our country?
Not unbearably.
Yvette, that's a very strange name. How do you spell it?
Y-V-E-T-T-E.
Oh, that's Yvette.
That is Yvette, you species of a goat.
She has high spirits, the little one.
Yes, I can see that, Dobie, dear. Pass the hors d'oeuvres.
yeah, Mom.
Well, tell me, Yvette, are you looking forward to going back to school?
Huh, the school is for the children.
You don't like school?
It is the waste of time.
What would you do if you didn't go to school?
One thinks, one evolves the philosophy, and then one writes.
Really? You write? How marvelous.
She's had 3 poems published in the Despair Quarterly.
My second triumph of a novel is to appear next month. It is entitled Love is a Broken Gas Main.
And you're only 17.
If one does not have it by the time one is 17, then there can be little hope, can there?
Yvette, why don't you and Dobie go for a walk after dinner? He's terribly interested in literature.
This Dobie?
Me?
I wish you would. You could have a nice talk about literature and books and plays and everything.
Oh, I think not, thank you.
Oh, you'd love it, dear. You and Dobie have so much in common.
Oh, some other time.
I wish you would.
I wish you would, because if you keep arguing, she'll keep arguing, and we'll never get to eat.
Oh, very well.
Splendid. Goodness, dinner must be about ready. Now, if everybody will sit right down, I will bring the pot roast.
Qu'est-ce qu'il dit?
Le dîner est prêt, on va manger ce fameux pot roast.
Ah, le pot roast!
Look here, Yvette. Back home, they're getting dessert. All I'm getting is sore feet. Now, we walked about 60 miles, and you haven't said one word. Now, if we're not going to talk, we could at least sit. I can't think of anything to talk about, can you?
Let us try the literature. You are, I understand, interested in the literature.
No, I'm not interested in the literature. I'm interested in the baseball, in the canoeing, in the tobogganing, in the steak, in the mashed potatoes, and in the girls, but not in the literature.
I have the boredom.
Me too. I have the boredom with earlaps. Let's go home.
Oh, in a moment. First, tell me about your father.
Well, what about him?
Was he always such an animal?
Oh, now, just a minute. Just a darn minute. My father's a taxpayer and a veteran.
He's so wild, so untamed, so savage.
With the good conduct medal. And I'll thank you to keep a civil tongue in your head. Boy, you're an odd one. You bug me. I mean, you just don't make sense. What's all this about writing? And you're all the time so worried and mad and like that. What do you do for chuckles?
Chuckles are for the children.
Well, what do you think you are, an old woman?
It is not the years that make the age. It is the suffering.
Have you been sick or something?
The whole world is sick.
Not me. I feel great.
That is the sickest of all.
Listen, Yvette, I can't paint or write or compose, but just the same, I know a heck of a lot more than you do. I know that the world's not sick. It's full of wonderful things like friendship and fresh air and water sports and love and...
Love?
And...
You species of a muskrat. What do you know of love?
Well, I know it's wonderful.
Oh, sacre bleu, but you are an imbecile. Love is not wonderful. It is miserable. It is full of agony and remorse and hate.
Love is full of hate? Boy, are you kooky.
Oh, kindly defend from speaking to me and take me home as rapidly as possible. For I wish never to regard the stupid face of you again.
That suits me fine, pal.
I have the longest consecutive...
hello, children.
Well, time to go. Au revoir, madame. Monsieur.
Well, Yvette, did you enjoy your walk?
Oh, yes, madame. It was enchanting. May I come tomorrow and walk with Dobie again?
Why, of course you can, my dear. Come every day. Make this your home away from home.
Oh, thank you, I will. You are very kind,
Come
madame.
early and stay late.
Thank you. Maman, papa, say good night. I wish to be here early tomorrow.
At last.
Bonsoir, monsieur. Bonsoir, madame.
Good night, madame. Good night to you.
Bonsoir, madame.
Good night, Dobie.
Share, Dobie.
Good night, good night. Oh, isn't that marvelous, Dobie? She likes you.
Congratulations, boy, but could you arrange to meet her someplace else? This girl gives me the creeps. Love is a broken gas main.
Oh, nonsense. She's a delightful girl, and I think it's just marvelous that she's so fond of Dobie.
Are you kidding? She hates me like poison.
Oh, is that so, Smarty? Then why is she coming here tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that?
It bugs me. It really does.
Me too, good buddy.
I just can't figure it out.
The way this little French chick shows up every day?
Yeah, 2 weeks now. She hasn't missed a single day. She gets there in the morning and she hangs around all smiles and sunshine until Mom makes me take her out for a walk. Then as soon as we're alone, she either won't talk to me or else she cusses me in French. In fact, sometimes she kicks me.
Weird.
But the weirdest part of all is, if she hates me so, why does she keep coming back every day?
Hey, Dobe, I got like an idea.
What?
I'll sneak over to her house and peek in one of the windows and find out what she's up to.
Yeah.
You know how good I read lips.
Yeah, Maynard, I know.
Where's she live? I'll go right now.
No, Maynard. Thank you, but no.
How come?
Well, it's like eavesdropping, and when somebody's got a great power like you have, they should use it only for good. Now, listen.
Yeah, you're right,
something
good buddy. I ought to use this great power for my country.
Yeah.
The United States of America.
Yeah.
Or the Army, or the Navy, or the FBI, or the United States of America. Yeah, I could be like a spy.
A spy?
Yeah. I could go on one of them submarines and peek through a porthole and read the lips of the Russians in the next submarine and find out what evil goings on are going on.
Yeah.
I have to learn Russian, and it's probably tougher reading lips underwater. All them bubbles. But it's worth it for my country.
Sure.
The United States of America. I could zoom around in a satellite reading lips and secrets all over the kingdom come. I could see robbers penning robberies and murderers penning murders and thieves.
Maynard, enough.
You sure got it up here, good buddy.
Thank you, Maynard. It's heartwarming to know I'm appreciated. Now listen, there's something you can do for me.
Like, name it.
Let me stay at your house tonight, so when this Yvette comes dragging around tomorrow morning, she won't find me home, and she'll maybe get discouraged and give up the whole thing.
Sure, Dobe. You can have my bed.
Your bed? There's another bed in your room.
There is?
Yeah, underneath all those records.
Oh, yeah. Good thinking, yeah.
Oh, hi, Beth.
Oh, good morning, Monsieur Gillis.
Dobie ain't here. He spent the night over at Maynard's.
Oh, good. And Madame Gillis?
She ain't here either. She went over to drag Dobie home before some of Maynard rubbed off on him.
Oh, we are alone. I must speak.
Go right ahead and parlez-vous. How's that for classic French, huh?
Certain things that happen between people, nobody can explain them.
Yeah, like that science fiction jazz on television.
Please to listen. I can no longer stay silent.
Yes, you can. You're just not trying.
Oh, Herbert. Hear me, my Herbert.
You're Herbert? Now, hold on.
Oh, you great fool. Why do you think I have been coming around here day after day? Did you imagine it was for this callow youth, Dobie? Oh, no. It was for you, my savage. For you.
For me? Winnie!
She's gone, Herbert.
And you're going, too, right out that door, right now, and don't come back.
How he shouts, how he stamps, how he roars. Oh, Herbert, what an animal you are.
And what a nut you are. That's what you are. Now, you get going.
Oh, I look at you and 10,000 years of civilization disappear. Poof, and there you stand. The primitive man, the mindless brute.
I'll have you understand I'm a respectable married man and a husband and a father and a businessman and a veteran with a good conduct medal.
Oh, the magnificent mindlessness of you. The sublime crudity. Ah, my ferocious beast. We are ready to face the world together.
And you are ready for the funny farm, that's it. Winnie! Will you please go home? Winnie!
Herbert! What is it, Herbert?
Winnie! Hang on to that lummy there. I'm going to get her old man. Look out, boys.
What on earth is happening? I will tell you, madame. I love your husband.
Well, of course you do, my dear. The whole neighborhood does. Do you know that every year he plays Santa Claus at the orphan asylum, and when he walks down the street, dogs lick his hands?
I do not love him, madame. I love him.
Why, that's not a nice way to talk.
You must give him up, madame. He's a savage and he needs me.
You love Mr. G? What are you, some kind of nut or something?
Aha, so that's why you've been hanging around.
Oh, dear.
Yvette, what is this infamous singer here?
It is true. Herbert, I love you, and it is a perfect love, all pain and no pleasure. And I will ride.
You see what I mean?
You leave me my next triumph with a
Get her out of here.
Yvette, you will go home at once and go to your room.
I will go to my home, for now I have tasted the dregs of futility. Now at last I am ready to write. Farewell, Herbert, my great tawny beast.
Well, that turned out real good, Winnie Pooh. You got any more highfalutin friends you want to introduce Dobie to?
Yes, I have. Maynard, darling, promise me you will stay with Dobie always. Promise me you will never leave him.
Like, sure, Mrs. G.
And forgive me for ever having tried to take Dobie away from you.
Like, forget it, Mrs. G.
Maynard, you are a real human being.
You're 100% with me.
You're my kind of people.
Your ace is my book.
You're all heart.
You're the cat's pajamas.
You're the cook.
You're the one.
Well, that was the last time Mom tried to ram culture down my throat. After what happened, she was convinced that I had to develop an interest in good music and literature and poetry and like that, all by myself. And I'm happy to say that I did. Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere. On the 18th of April in 75, hardly a man is now alive who remembers that famous day and year.
I got it.
Uh-huh.
See if I read your lips right, huh?
Yeah, okay.
It looked extremely rocky for the Mudville 9 that day. The scores to 2-4 with but an inning left to play.
Perfect, Dad. Perfect,
Dropping out of school, man. Frantic, huh?
Crazy.
Yeah, man, this sure is the life.
What?
What we're doing, stupid.
What are we doing?
We're living it up, man. Just hacking around. No teachers, no classes, no homework, nobody on our backs. Ain't that frantic?
Crazy.
Yeah, them squares in there. 18 years old and still going to school. Ain't that frantic?
Crazy.
Hey, Chatsworth, where you going all dressed up so pretty? The dancing school?
Nah, he's gonna take the principal a nice shiny red apple.
Where'd you get that pretty striped tie? Did your mommy give it to you?
Hey, you guys, lay off Chatsworth. He didn't do nothing to you.
Yeah, if you guys are looking for a rumble, we're here too.
Thanks awfully, chaps, but I can handle this riffraff myself.
Goodness gracious, Chatsworth, what are you gonna do to us? Look at that!
Wow. Where'd you learn that, Chatsworth?
Well, Dobie, since the age of 7, I have been taking bi-weekly lessons in judo from the celebrated Japanese master Ito Nomuri. As a matter of fact, he's waiting at my house right now.
To give you another judo lesson?
No, Krebs, baby. He also gives lessons in flower arrangement.
Dobie,
Those guys at Chatsworth roughed up. They're dropouts. I mean, they quit school and now they just bum around town doing nothing. Well, they can have it. School may be a pain in the neck sometimes, but lately I haven't been doing too bad. The other day in English class, for instance, Mr. Pomfret said to me,
"Hail to thee, blithe spirit," is a famous line from a famous poem. Now, Dobie Gillis, can you name the poem and the poet?
"To a Skylark" by Percy Bysshe Shelley.
Oh, bless my soul, that's absolutely correct. It is?
It is?
Yes, Dobie, it is. And I want you to stay after school this afternoon.
But you said my answer was right.
I also said I want you to stay after school. Paul Merrick, can you name 2 more poems by Shelley?
I don't know.
Well, sure you do, Paul. Think.
Yeah, boy, think.
I said I didn't know.
All right, Paul. Linda Mayhew, can you name 2 more poems by Shelley?
Ode to the West Wind and Adonais.
Very good, Linda. And now, let's turn to the works of my favorite poet, William Wordsworth. Class, except for Dobie Gillis.
Oh.
Dismissed!
Everybody's always picking on it.
Oh, what's wrong?
Nothing.
Yes, there is.
All right, there is. What's that got to do with you?
Look, we've been in school together since we were little kids. Naturally, I take an interest.
Look, what is this? Some kind of charity work you're doing?
Oh, stop that. All right, so you're poor. So are a lot of other people.
Like you?
Well, no.
All right, then, don't be such an expert.
Paul, you were an A student up until a few months ago. Now you're on the edge of flunking out. Why?
What do you care?
I told you, we're friends. Let me help you, please.
Do you mean that?
Of course I do.
Linda, baby, have you forgotten tennis this afternoon? Excuse me, Paulsy, do.
In just a little while, Chatsworth.
Oh, do hurry, child, because I would like to get in a little splash after the game.
In a few minutes.
Come in, Paul. Go with your friend, Linda.
Paul?
Because my friends are here for me.
Yeah, we ain't got all day.
Now, you saw it, boys. Paul with those dropouts.
Dropouts? How come they call them dropouts?
Because they dropped out of school before they graduated.
What do they do now?
Nothing, just loaf.
Yeah? How old do you have to be a dropout?
You're old enough, Maynard.
Yeah?
But if you do, I will personally grab you by that beard and drag you right back in again. That's the worst thing that can happen to a kid, dropping out. Now, maybe it sounds like fun to you, just loafing and hanging around street corners, but that doesn't go on for long. Pretty soon it comes time to go to work.
Work!
Yes, Maynard, work.
Work!
Maynard. And what kind of jobs do these kids get? They're not equipped for any skilled or even semi-skilled work.
Work, Maynard!
Dobie, I need your help.
You need my help?
With Paul Merrick. Boys, he's on the verge of dropping out of school. And personally, I consider that a great tragedy.
Personally? How?
Well, it may come as something of a shock to you, Dobie, but I do take a personal interest in my students, in every one of them.
No offense, but how come you're so mean and rotten?
No offense, Maynard. I am mean and rotten because trying to cram an education into the skulls of healthy young animals is a job that requires a firm hand and nerves of steel. In fact, there are times when I think I should come to class equipped with a kitchen chair, a pistol, and a whip. It's not an easy job, my young barbarians, but it's a job I asked for, and I've never regretted it for a moment, because it's a job with many rewards. And I'm not speaking of that pittance I find in my pay envelope at the end of each month. I'm speaking of the kids who go out of my class into the world and make a name for themselves. Those are my trophies, boys. Those are my medals, my citations.
But Mr. Pomfret, I still don't understand. What do you want me to do about Paul Merrick?
Dobie, I want you to persuade him to straighten himself out and stay in school.
Me? Him? Why me? Why not his parents?
Unfortunately, Paul doesn't have any parents. He's living with an older brother who drives a truck and is practically never at home.
Well, what about the principal, the school psychologist? You?
Well, we all tried, Dobie, and it didn't work.
Work?
Dobie, I've been watching you ever since you came to Central High School. Now, your marks, I admit, will never take any prizes, and your talents, let's be frank, they defy detection. However, there is one thing you do have.
What's that?
The ability to inspire confidence. Everybody trusts you, Dobie.
Ah, shucks, Mr.
Now, no
Pomfret.
modesty, no modesty. You've got a kind of goodness that shines through.
Well, what can I do?
Just talk to Paul. Be his friend. Try to convince him what a mistake he's making, because he is, you know. Paul's a brilliant student. Or used to be.
Oh, gee, I don't know. You say you've tried, and the principal and the psychologist, and you all struck out?
But that's just the point, Dobie. Paul doesn't trust adults. You, on the other hand, you, Dobie Gillis, are a natural-born youth leader.
Dobie's a natural-born youth leader?
He sure is.
Well, I'm a natural-born youth follower.
Wait.
Come on, Dob, we'll go over to Paul's house. Come on.
Maynard. Mr. Pomfret, look, please, Mr. Paul? Hey, Paul? Not here, Maynard. Oh.
Ooh. I don't think nobody but kidnappers live here.
Kidnapper?
Yeah, like in the movies. When they're like holding somebody for ransom, they always got an iron bed and a light bulb hanging down.
Maynard, that's ridiculous. This is Paul's room, all right. It's the right address. Gee, it isn't quite what I expected.
It ain't good, buddy. I've seen prettier rooms than this in horror pictures.
Gee, he's been like sewing the holes in his socks together.
Gee, I'm getting like all misty. Let's go, Dobe, huh?
Yeah, I wonder Paul never invited anybody here. Gee, we better not let him know we've been snooping around here. It's like opening somebody else's mail. Yeah. He wouldn't like it. Hi, Paul. Can we sit with you? Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. You're like a real human being.
You sure are, Paul. You're quite a fella and awful smart, too. Yeah. Yes, sir, Paul. We're sure happy to be having lunch with you.
That's right, Paul.
Yeah.
Why, just this morning I said to my good buddy Dobie, wouldn't it be crazy to have lunch with Paul today?
Yeah, that's right, Paul. That's what Maynard was saying. Hey, I got an idea. Let's all have lunch together.
Sure, Paul. Where's your lunch?
What do you mean, where's my lunch?
I mean, like I don't see it.
What's the matter? You don't think I can afford lunch?
Oh, sure, sure.
Yeah. All right, now, come on. What do you guys really want?
What? Well, what we really want
is... You tell him, Dobie.
Yeah, some help with our homework. Yeah,
that's right.
Are you kidding? You want me to help you with your homework?
Yeah,
I'm flunking in everything.
Oh, you're just in kind of a slump, that's all, Paul. You're still the smartest guy in class. I mean, a guy like you's got a great future.
Oh, be a smash.
Yeah, she is. Doctor, lawyer.
Indian chief?
Good thinking, yeah.
Oh, a guy like me's got a great future pushing a broom. What are you talking about, doctor, lawyer? For that, you've got to go to college. You know how much that costs?
You could work your way through.
Work! Wouldn't that be just great? Me busting tables in some fraternity house. All those fat, rich slobs looking down their noses at me. Hey, boy, fill my water glass. Boy, ketchup. Hey, boy, can't you move any faster? Yeah, that'd be just great. No thanks. People have been looking down their noses at me my whole life. I've had it.
Listen, Paul, you've got to finish high school. Don't drop out. You're making a terrible mistake.
Yeah, well, thanks for the good advice, kindly old philosopher.
We didn't do so good, huh, Dobe?
Good thinking.
Yeah, maybe we should quit.
Quit? I don't know the meaning of the word quit.
It means like stop, like cut out, like flake off, like pack it in, like run like a bunny. Yeah, let's.
Good
thinking.
Yeah.
So we see that in his later poetry, and particularly in his sonnets, William Wordsworth reached his full powers as an important English poet. Class is not dismissed. I want to give you an assignment for tomorrow. Now, I want each of you to write me a theme of 500 words to be called A Trip Around My Room. Simply set down in clear, concise English, preferably grammatical, what you see when you look around your room. For instance, what color are the walls, how many windows there are, what kind of furniture there is, things like that. All right, Maynard, what is it?
Mr. Pomfret, sir, how can you, like, take a trip around your room? I mean, your room is just a little tiny place. A trip is when you get on a train or a plane and go somewhere.
Thank you, Maynard. It's not that kind of a trip.
Like, say, if you went to New Orleans to hear some New Orleans jazz. Yeah.
Maynard.
You went to Chicago to hear some Chicago jazz.
Maynard.
Ooh, you went to Duluth to hear some Duluth jazz.
Maynard! Enough. Just describe your room. All right, class, except for Maynard and Dobie. Dismissed. Well, how'd you make out with Paul, boys?
Well, we did great. He told us to leave him alone, and that's just what we're going to do. Leave him alone.
Yeah.
You mean you're going to quit?
That's the word, quitting.
Oh, well, I don't suppose I had any right to ask you in the first place.
Honest, Mr. Pomfret, I did everything I could.
Sure, Dobie. It's not your problem if a boy like Paul Merrick throws away a fine potential and ends up a bum.
But really, Mr. Pomfret, I did my best.
After all, you're not your brother's keeper, are you? If you want to quit, that's your privilege.
Dobe?
Huh?
I think you're being snowed.
I think so, too.
He's right.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Pomfret. What do you want me to do? Tell me.
Just try again. Just once more. Okay, Dobie?
But I haven't got a chance.
Dobie, remember this. It matters not if you win or lose, but how you run the race. And if at first you don't succeed, try again. And a man who won't be beat can't be beat. And a man who can't be beat won't be beat.
Stuff a cold and starve a fever. Just holding up my end of the conversation.
Maynard, old friend, I've thought long and hard about Paul's problem. And in my vast experience, I've learned that when all else fails, cherchez la femme.
That's like brilliant, though.
Yeah, it is kind of, isn't it?
What does it mean?
It's French, Maynard. It means find the woman.
Oh, we're going to go to France and find him a woman.
No, Maynard.
Where are we going?
We're staying right here.
Well, where's the woman coming from?
Right there. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Dobie.
That's the girl you're going to get for Paul.
Good thinking, Maynard. Just let me do the talking.
Hi, Linda, baby. It is I, your ever-loving Chatsworth.
In a minute, Chatsworth. You wanted to see me, Dobie?
You, yes. I hadn't figured on Chatsworth.
It's all right, Gillis, baby. Linda has no secrets from me.
Oh, hush up, Chatsworth. Now, what was it you wanted to talk to me about, Dobie?
Well, I was wondering if you had a date for the dance Saturday.
As a matter of fact, I haven't. Are you asking me?
Well, not exactly. Not for myself, that is.
For somebody else?
Well, yes.
And who might that be, John Alden?
John Alden? It ain't John Alden. It's Paul Merrick.
Merrick, oh.
What's the matter with Paul Merrick?
Any number of things, but let's begin with those seedy characters he hangs around with.
Guilt by association. It doesn't prove a thing. Look at the seedy character I hang around with. No offense, Maynard.
No offense.
There's quite a difference, Dobie do. I mean, this ragamuffin, shabby though he is basically quite a decent sort. Paul's friends, on the other hand, are really too impossible.
I'm afraid he's right, Dobie. Something's happened to Paul in the last few months. Something bad.
But you always liked him.
I was always his friend, yes, and I still want to be. But you can't be friends with a boy who keeps turning his back on you.
But he wants to take you to the dance Saturday.
He sent you to ask me?
Not exactly, but I know he wants to.
See here, Gillis, it just so happens I was going to ask Linda to the dance right after we finished golfing this afternoon.
Chatsworth, you got everything in the whole world. Do you need Linda, too? Paul really needs her. He's in trouble.
Dobie, if I thought I could help Paul, you know I'd say yes in a minute. But let's face it, he's too far gone.
Oh, honest, Linda, he's a great guy, 100%.
He was. It's gone now.
Oh, no, Linda.
Look
no.
here, chaps. This argument is rather pointless. I mean, tomorrow we'll know what sort of a person Paul is, won't we?
Tomorrow?
Yes.
How?
Yeah, like how?
Don't you remember our English assignment, A Trip Around My Room?
So?
So, tomorrow in class we'll be reading our themes. And I always say, you show me a man's room, and I'll tell you what kind of a man he is. I'm not talking about luxurious furnishings. I'm talking about the kind of thing he keeps around him. Good books, good music, good hobbies. That's where a man really shows his character. Don't you agree, Linda?
Yes, I suppose that's true.
Well, then why stand around debating when tomorrow we'll have the answer?
Bye, boys.
Ta-ta, chaps.
Hey, Dobe. You remember Paul's room?
I sure do.
Hey, Dobe, know what we were like?
Like dead?
Good
thinking, yeah.
Now, Maynard.
My Room by Maynard G. Krebs. My theme is kind of short, Mr. Pomfret, sir, and I kind of live in a small room.
Proceed, Maynard.
I open the door to my room. What do I see? The sweatshirt I left on the floor last night. What is the next thing I see? It is the sneakers I left beside the sweatshirt. And what is the next thing I see? It is the socks I left beside the sneakers. And what is the next thing I see? It is my records. Singles, albums, 33s, 45s, 78s, hi-fi, lo-fi, stereo, hundreds and thousands of records, piles and stacks and heaps of records. And what is the next thing I see? It is my mother standing in the door saying, Maynard, clean up your room or your father will put you in manual training school. I thank you.
It sounds a simple hovel, Maynard, but your own.
Like true.
Paul Merrick.
A trip around my room. When you come into my room, the first thing you notice is how light everything is. The walls and the ceiling are light, and sometimes when the sun comes in through the big windows at the sides, it's so bright you almost have to squint up your eyes to keep out the light. Over my bed on the wall are 2 crossed tennis rackets, and on the other side are 2 crossed dueling swords. On the other side of my room is a big desk where I keep my microscope. It goes up to 1200 power, has 3 objective lens turrets, highly polished concave mirrors and optical condensers, and is kept in a mahogany-stained hardwood storage case. In the drawers of my desk, I keep my stamp collection and my coin collection and my rock specimens. I've got pretty interesting stamps, too. For instance, I've got an unused Hawaiian Islands 5-cent blue from 1840. That's one of the rarest kind of stamps ever printed. Next to the desk as you go around my room is a hi-fi set and a pretty big phonograph so I can hear all the good music I want anytime. Next is sort of a workbench where I keep all my chemistry apparatus, where I can do all kinds of experiments. You know, people have made very important discoveries with equipment just as basic as mine. But the best thing in my room is my collection of books, because I found that a man can travel to the ends of the earth while sitting in an armchair if he has plenty of good books. I don't want to brag, but it's such a good room that you couldn't want a better one.
Congratulations, Paul. That was a fine essay. And a fine room, too. That's just the sort of room I'd expect you to have.
That's okay.
Paul,
Yeah?
I just wanted to tell you how much I liked your theme. Your room sounds absolutely wonderful.
What'd you think I lived in? Some kind of dump?
Paul Merrick, you get that chip off your shoulder and listen to me. I said I liked your theme. I said I liked your room. Now, a boy who lives in a room like that has just got to be good, deep down. So, my answer's yes. I will go to the dance with you Saturday night.
Dance Saturday night?
Don't you want to go with me?
Yeah, but...
Okay, it's a date. Okay?
Okay.
Oh, and if you want to see me any other time, why, I'm available. Oh, it doesn't have to be for a dance or a party or anything. I mean, if you just want to walk and talk, call me.
Linda, I didn't...
Because you're a very fine boy and a smart boy, and it'd be a crying shame if you were to drop out of school.
You know, I didn't even think you...
You didn't think I cared? Of course I do, Paul. Lots of people care about you. I mean, you're a very important human being, even if you don't think so.
Ain't that beautiful? Don't it just bust you all up inside, Casey?
Yeah. Hand me my lace handkerchief. I think I'm gonna cry.
Paul, send those 2 away. And I mean away for good.
Sure, Paul. Do what the rich lady says.
Yeah, and if you're very polite, maybe she'll let you come around the back door for a handout.
Paul, make up your mind.
Come on, Casey. We don't want no social climbers.
Wait!
Paul!
You wouldn't understand.
Yes, sir, Linda. You sure can't tell about a man from the
the kind of room he lives in.
Oh, shut up.
Shut up. Linda, I'm talking about Paul. You heard his theme.
Don't ever mention his name to me again.
But he's a wonderful guy.
He's a bum and a loafer, and I think all that stuff about his room is just a big lie. I think his room is just like he is, crummy and rotten.
Oh, you're wrong.
All right, how would you like to show me Paul's room?
Well...
I thought so.
Yeah, all right, I'll show you his room.
Good buddy. I just feel like forgotten something. Good buddy.
Well, no. Tomorrow afternoon, okay, Linda?
Good buddy.
Tomorrow afternoon will be just fine.
Good.
You got a plan, though, like, please tell me you got a plan, like, please.
I got a plan.
Gillis, baby, about your plan. You're definitely sick. I mean, you need attention.
Chatsworth, you gotta do it.
Look, Paul told this great whopping lie about his room, and you want me to make it all come true. You want me to supply the things he said he had in his room.
Well, you've got him, haven't you?
Ridiculous question. Of course I've got them.
Yeah, and I'll get my father's truck to haul him over, and Maynard will keep Paul away from the room.
Dobie, may I remind you that I have more than a casual interest in Linda? And you're asking me to help Paul Marek steal my girlie. Gad, you can't be serious.
Chatsworth, if you were just anybody, I wouldn't ask. But you're Chatsworth Osborne, Jr. Why, you've got family and ancestors and tradition. Why, you've even got a coat of arms with a motto in Latin. Substantium nihil tangere. That must mean something.
As a matter of fact, it means never dip into capital. However, you have struck a responsive chord. The gallantry of it is rather me, isn't it?
Yeah, to the teeth.
A greater love hath no man and all that. It would be a grand gesture, wouldn't it?
Yes, and so like you.
Gillis? I'll do it.
Chatsworth, you're like a real human being.
Oh, rather more than that.
Well, Linda?
Oh, Dobie.
Hi-fi set,
Records.
butterfly collection, books, yeah,
Tennis rackets.
dueling swords.
And a microscope.
Yeah, stamp
It's
collection, rocks.
exactly the way he described it.
Well, what do you say now?
I say I misjudged Paul, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, you know, Linda, if anybody could talk him out of quitting school, it's you.
Do you really think so?
I know it, Linda. He's ape for you. He's just too shy to tell you. Can't you persuade him to stay in school?
Oh, maybe I can. Yes. I know I can.
Oh, good.
Hey, Dobe.
Maynard, you were supposed to be keeping Paul away.
I like goofed.
Where's Paul?
Does that answer your question?
Where'd all this stuff come from? Whose is it?
Well, isn't it yours?
Are you kidding? Where would I get enough money to buy stuff like this?
Nice work, Dobie. First Paul tells me a big lie, and then you help him out with another big lie. Excuse me, I'm going home.
Now, just a minute. Just a darn minute.
Let me out.
Okay, I'm a liar.
That's right.
I borrowed this stuff from Chatsworth and put it in
Chatsworth?
here, but Paul didn't know about it.
Oh.
And Paul lied, too, when he wrote that theme about his room. He
I
was
thought
making
so.
it up, all of it. But why? Why did he make up a room like this? Because it's the kind of room he'd like to have. Look at it. Microscope, stamp collection, music, books. Is this the kind of room a bum would dream of?
What?
No. This is the room of a decent, intelligent, ambitious kid. And that's what Paul is. Decent, intelligent, ambitious. And if you're not intelligent enough to see that, then you're not intelligent enough for an intelligent guy like Paul.
I'm getting pretty misty, Dobe.
Paul, is this really the kind of room you'd like to have?
Are you kidding? Who wouldn't?
Those two creepy friends of yours would, and that's who wouldn't.
Paul, will you stop hanging around with those two boys and stay in school?
Yeah.
What for?
Well, for one thing, so that you and I can be together.
Yeah, that's what for.
Do you really mean it,
Well,
Linda?
of course I do. And for another thing, so that you can go to college and amount to something. You've got what it takes, Paul. I know it.
What do you say, Paul?
What can I do? I'm outnumbered.
Thanks, Dobie.
Maynard?
Yeah, good buddy?
I'm getting pretty misty, too.
These three magical lines from Kubla Khan are considered among the most inspired lyrics in the English language. And so, we take our leave of Samuel Taylor Coleridge and turn once again to my favorite poet, William Wordsworth. Class, except for Maynard G. Krebs and Dobie Gillis, dismissed. Boys, congratulations. You did a wonderful job on
Thank you,
Paul
Mr.
Marek.
Pomfret.
I only wish there was something I could do in return.
Tell me, tell me.
Well, as a matter of fact...
Yes?
You tell him, Dobie.
Yeah, well, Mr. Pomfret, do you remember the mark Maynard got on his last test?
How could I forget? A -40. Maynard, you missed 4 questions that weren't even on the test.
Well, Maynard was wondering, Mr. Pomfret, sir, if you could raise his mark to an even 0.
I think that could be arranged.
Mr. Pomfret, sir, you're like a real human being.
Yeah, he is kind of like a real human being.
Dobie, once a gal who's creamy, Dobie, wants a gal to call his own. Is she blonde, is she tall, is she dark, is she small, is she any kind of dreamboat at all? No matter, he's hers and hers alone. 'Cause Dobie has to have a girl to call his own.
American romantic.
Frank Sinatra.
Thoroughly original answer.
Like, thank you.
Too bad it's thoroughly wrong.
Like, you're welcome.
Class, dismissed.
Pomfret, we heard that you're quitting your job.
Yes, boys, I'm afraid that's right. I shall miss Central High School. I've actually grown to like teaching. Or, as in your case, Maynard, trying to teach.
Like, thank you.
Like you're welcome.
But if you're so great for teaching, why are you kicking it?
I am motivated by one of the noblest emotions that burns in the human heart. The desire for money.
Like, no.
Like, yes, Maynard. Teaching means a great deal to me, but I have numerous creditors, a wife, children, and a stomach to support.
But what if the new teacher's like mean and rotten? It makes us do mean and rotten things.
Like what?
Like homework.
I give you homework, Maynard. You just don't do it.
That's what I mean. We understand each other. Don't go, Mr. Pomfret. Like, please.
Maynard, I thought you teachers were supposed to meet with the school board tonight to talk about a pay raise.
We are, but the prospects are dim. The school board hasn't voted a pay raise since the San Juan Hill victory bonus of 1898. Oh, boys, if you'll excuse me now, I'm expecting my prospective new employer any minute.
Hey, I bet your new job's a gasser, huh? Like a disc jockey or something.
A disc jockey? Maynard, Mr. Pomfret's destined for important things. What's it to be, sir? Government service, the State Department, the Stock Exchange?
Well, not exactly.
Mr. Pomfret, I brought your outfit. Come on, try it on. Here. Mr. Pomfret, I'm counting on you to turn into a top-notch moneymaker in no time.
Dobie, Dobie.
I never thought the day had come when I'd be sorry to see a teacher leave. But Mr. Pomfret's different. I mean, he's straight shooting and sympathetic and inspiring, and he gives easy tests. So I decided to talk to my father about the situation. He promised me he'd always listen to my opinion on any subject.
I absolutely refuse to discuss it.
Dad, I thought you were more open-minded.
I am probably the most open-minded man in town. How do you think I wind up with all these head colds? You probably remember the famous words of Voltaire when he said, "I may not agree with what you say, but I shall defend to the death your right to say it."
Sure, Dad,
well, that was Voltaire talking. Now this is Herbert T. Gillis talking. Clam up and keep your nose clean. Nobody likes a smart aleck.
Hey, Doe, guess what?
What?
I can't tell you.
Maynard, what? What?
I promise you won't hate me for telling you?
Maynard, tell me already.
Guess who we're going to get for a new teacher if Mr. Pomfret quits?
Who?
Mr. Fogarty from Woodshop. Like, right. The only teacher who ever got an honorary degree from Devil's Island. Doe, we got to do something.
Yeah, well, I've been trying, but my father told me to butt out.
Hello, dear. Hello, Maynard.
Mom, Dad refuses to talk to me.
How nice for you, dear.
But this time I want him to talk to me about the teacher's pay raise.
Oh, did he give you any encouragement?
He kind of encouraged me to clam up. Mom, make him listen to me.
Well, I don't know too much about the issues involved, but he certainly ought to hear what you have to say. Herbert, I want you to drop everything and listen to your son.
It'll be a pleasure. All right, I'll stand here and you go right ahead and tell me what's bugging you.
Thanks, Dad. You're a real human being, no matter what anybody says. Now, Dad, the fine, noble, self-sacrifice. How could I break through to Herbert T. Gillis, father, citizen, practical budget watcher. I had to show him that without good teachers, we'd all turn into uncultured, dull-witted, simple-minded clods.
You right?
When the members of the school board get here for their meeting, I want to make sure they don't miss this.
Yeah, it's like beautiful, Dobe.
Yeah, it sort of makes you think.
Sort of makes you hungry.
Very funny. Very funny.
Worthwhile thought, huh, Dad?
Very worthwhile.
Don't encourage him, Winnie. Your son is already some kind of a rabble-rousing nut. Important matters like these require a level head, and I happen to have the levelest head you're ever gonna...
These teachers have got to get a raise.
Why, Dobe?
Well, look at it this way. No offense, Maynard, but how would you like to teach a class with you in it?
Dobe, those teachers have got to get a raise.
Now to do some kind of...
All right, that's better. Taylor recognizes Mr. Gillis.
Thank you, Mrs. Osborne. I would just like to make a few unbiased remarks before the teachers get here. Now, I understand they are asking for a $15 raise. All I want to say, in all fairness, is my pumpernickel should have such crust. If we give them this raise, our treasury's going to wind up 20 points lower than nothing.
Sorry I'm late, folks. May I say a few words?
Very few. Hold it. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen of the school board, unfortunately, we're going to have to postpone this meeting because the other teachers will not be able to attend. As a matter of fact, almost the entire faculty is down with influenza. Well, there is an epidemic in town, you know.
Oh, the newspaper says very mild.
Yeah, nobody's getting it except those that are overworked or undernourished.
I rest my case.
That's not what I meant.
Anyway, in view of the emergency, we're going to have to close down school for a few days. So please tell your children to stay home tomorrow. And until further notice.
My son Chatsworth at home?
Everybody.
Oh, that is out of the question. Every time Chatsworth stays home, all the servants leave.
You're not going to get away with this, Pomfret. Why, if Dobie's hanging around that store all day, that means Maynard's going to be there, too. Have you any idea what this will do to business? Not to mention my nervous system?
But, Mr. Gillis, I'm the only teacher left. I can't run the school single-handed.
Well, there must be something can be done in this situation. Bylaws and
I move we shut down the school.
Me too.
It has been moved and seconded that we shut down the school.
Okay, the motion passes. Now I move we adjourn. Come on, let's get out of here.
Just a minute. Just a darn minute. We are not shutting down the school. Those children will not be denied their right to an education.
Winnie, it'll cost a cockeyed fortune to keep this school open.
Who cares? What's more important, the minds of our youngsters hungry for learning or a few miserable dollars? Don't answer that question. Remember this, the greatest asset that our country has is the minds of its children.
Too, the country's bankrupt.
Mrs. Gillis is absolutely right. Those little minds, nasty as they are sometimes, need nourishment.
Until our regular teachers recover, we parents can teach the classes.
Now hold on, wait. Now hold on.
Out of order, Mr.
Now listen.
Yes, you are out of order.
Mrs. Osborne, I don't know if it's legal.
I have just made it legal.
What's the matter, Pomfret? You scared we'll find out what a soft touch you teachers got around here? I move and second and all the other gizmos that the parents take over the classes. We'll find out the truth. You want a raise? You feather betters will probably wind up with a cut.
It'll be exciting.
It'll be fun.
It'll be murder.
Our parents are going to teach the classes? Ridiculous. I mean, parents are supposed to bug you at home, and teachers are supposed to bug you at school. But nobody was playing by the rules.
Actually, I will teach home economics and the art of entertaining. We Osbornes have been internationally famous for entertaining ever since the Mayflower landed. We were on the beach waiting for them, you know.
I decided to teach music so that this great musical talent within me will not be kept from the world. Down among the sheltering palms, oh honey, wait for me. Oh honey, wait for me. See what I mean?
Girls' physical education? All that bending and stretching and twisting and turning? Oh, dear.
I think that accounts for everyone, except Mr. Gillis.
He had to stop off for something. He'll be here in a minute. Now, why don't you just tell us all where to go?
He wouldn't dare.
Mrs. Osborne, Dobie will take you to your home economics class in room 208. And, Maynard, why don't you take Mrs. Kenny to her music class in room 324?
All those lucky youngsters.
Mrs. Gillis, our girls' physical education class is experimenting with this program of Swedish exercises.
Oh, must we? I'm afraid I'll have enough trouble with them in English.
Hey, Manfred, get the whole team out here. On the double. I'm calling one-go practice for the outfield. I want to see the whole team in there pitching, except the pitchers. Then I want to see out someplace hitting. There's too many weak hitting pitchers nowadays. You got to get that old Pepper in there, boy.
Mr. Gillis, there must be some misunderstanding. These clothes.
What's the matter with these clothes? What do you mean, you put me down for baseball coach, didn't you?
Well, I'm afraid not, Mr. Gillis. I had you penciled in for English literature.
Well, you can just unpencil me out, Buster, if you think I'm going to sit in some stuffy classroom and listen to a lot of kids yammer.
Herbert!
Well, it ain't fair, Winnie. Gossett, I went out and bought a new glove and everything.
Don't worry, Mr. Pomfret. Deep down, Herbert really loves English literature. Don't you, Herbert?
I like Casey at the bat.
Good, but I hope you like poetry, too. Right now, we're studying the great American romantic.
Frank Sinatra?
Twice in one day? No, Mr. Gillis. I'm referring to Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, Dean of the Romantic Poets. He wrote The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. And you must know The Wreck of the Hesperus.
No, or I married him. Just a little pleasantry, dear.
I'll thank you to keep your pleasantries to yourself. I have a physical education class to organize in Swedish.
Mr. Gillis, I hope that you're able to maintain discipline with your class.
Discipline? You are talking to Herbert T. Gillis, formerly First Sergeant Herbert T. Gillis in the United States Army, with the Good Conduct Medal. Lead me to them Yardbirds.
Very well, Mr. Gillis. Fall in.
Fall in, I mean. Sit down. Quiet. My name is Gillis. Mr. Gillis. And what I say around here goes, see? Okay, I won't be needing you anymore, son.
Mr. Gillis.
Dismiss!
Roger.
Now listen, men. Oh, and ladies. I'm the boss around here, see? Boss Gillis. And to begin with, there's going to be no more of this buddy-buddy foolishness going on. Today, you are going to get a dose of good old-fashioned meat and potato type education. And, what sort of a dog kennel is this?
Mr. Gillis, that is the wigwam of Nokomis.
Don't give me any of your smart apple answers, Chatsworth Osborne Jr. I've known you from way back.
I am merely stating a fact. That is the wigwam of Nokomis.
Nokomis? What's the matter with him? Can't he sit at a desk like everybody else?
I'm afraid you don't understand. Nokomis is Hiawatha's grandmother.
I don't care if she is George Washington's maiden aunt. She's going to sit at a desk like anybody else. Get out of there.
Gillis, really? There's nobody in there. Nokomis is a character.
It also happens to be a small town in the state of Illinois. And I don't care what kind of a character she is. Nobody around here is going to... What do you mean, character?
In the poem, Hiawatha.
Oh, that Nokomis.
Down among the sheltering palms, oh honey, wait for me. Oh honey, wait for me. Meet me down by the old golden gate, down where the sun goes down about 8. How my love is burning, burning, burning. How my heart is yearning, yearning, yearning to be down among the sheltering palms. Oh honey, wait for me. Oh, you ungrateful children. I thought you liked snappy music.
No offense, Mrs. Kinney, but that music hasn't been snappy since the Spanish-American War.
Well, if that's your attitude, it's back to the anvil chorus.
Oh. Mrs. Kinney, how about something a little more hip?
Like what?
Like, you sure, huh, Dope?
Okay, Maynard, but you better stand guard in case Mr. Pomfret comes by.
Good thinking.
Yeah.
All clear, Dope.
Don't send a rabbit to the store to bring home carrots and put them on the shelf. Oh, no. You send a rabbit to the store to bring home carrots, he'll eat them all himself. Oh, yeah, yeah, I had a gal and I had a pal, as true as he could be. Well, sent my pal to fetch my gal, and he stole her love from me. Don't send a monkey to the store to bring home bananas for your appetite. You send a monkey to the store to bring home bananas you won't eat tonight.
Cool at the law.
Ready, class? The anvil chorus with anvil. A 1, a 2, back to the rabbit.
Don't send an elephant to the store to bring home peanuts like the fella tells. You send an elephant to the store to bring home peanuts, you'll get peanut shells. Oh yeah, my buddy asked to borrow my car, so what was I to do? Oh, I let my buddy take my car, and he took my baby out too. Don't send a rabbit to the store to bring home carrots and put them on the shelf. You send a rabbit to the store to bring home carrots, he'll eat them all himself.
And don't send no doggy for bones, neither.
Like true.
3, 4, 1, 2, 3. This is dreary. I have a much better idea. Something that we used to do in school, rhythmic expression. We'll act out all kinds of cute little stories. Now, you just do as I say. All the graceful swans are sleeping. That's right. Lovely. Splendid. Now, isn't this much more fun than those silly Swedish exercises? But hark! Bold Chanticleer heralds the dawn. Everybody make like Chanticleer. Oh, the sleepy swans awaken. Paddle down the stream. Paddling, paddling. Oh, no, dear, paddling, not waddling. Oh, there, isn't that more swanny? But here comes the wicked hunter. Everybody cover your heads with your wings and swing for the lily pad.
Mrs. Gillis.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Pomfret.
Good morning.
Welcome to Swan Lake.
What happened to the Swedish exercises, Mrs. Gillis?
Oh.
And
1, 2, 3.
Mr. Pomfret. Mr. Pomfret, sir. You gotta come quick, Mr. Pomfret.
3, 4.
You gotta come quick and save Mr. Gillis' life.
Why? What happened?
I didn't look inside the classroom. From the outside, it sounds like he's General Custer and a bunch of bad-tempered Indians.
3.
Murder and mayhem are prohibited on school property.
3, 4.
Quick,
broken window and you are out of the game. Ain't calling on a kind of trouble. Hi,
Mr. Gillis, what is going on here?
Well, you see, the kids want to play
happened to
baseball.
Longfellow?
He's first base. And I didn't want to be a wet
kids,
blanket
put those
or
desks
anything,
back in
and
place. Mr. Gillis, Hiawatha.
Hiawatha. By Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. By the shores of Gitche-Gumee, by the shining big sea water, stood the wigwam of Nokomis, daughter of the...
Oh, how fascinating. I wonder what it is.
Oh, Mrs. Osborne, I believe it's a stove.
Oh, nasty. Well, I suppose it has some historical interest. Fire! Fire! Be careful. Be calm. I'm in charge here. Fire! Nasty mechanism. Well, girls, are you ready for today's lesson? Now, in the next few years, many of you will probably become housewives. Yeah. Looking at you now, it seems unlikely, but we live in hope. Now, the first problem that you will face will naturally be the proper hiring and firing of servants.
Oh, naturally.
Of course, the servant problem is best handled by your butler.
Oh, Mrs. Osborne, what if you don't have a butler?
You're jesting, of course. Everyone has a butler. Who else would take charge of the maids, the chefs, and the pantrymen?
I never thought about it like that.
Well, think. Now we come to the problem of dismissing a servant. Zelda, how would you discharge an unsatisfactory chauffeur?
How about having him beheaded?
Oh, no. Now that must be illegal or something.
Oh, Mrs. Osborne, do you have any special rules for running a household?
There is only one rule. Take over. Run that house with an iron hand. Don't let those nasty men open their mouths. The moment you're married, let him know who is boss. You punish insubordination at once.
That sounds cruel.
Yes.
Mrs. Osborne, I'm in charge.
Out!
Mrs. Osborne.
Out! I am in charge of this class. Beheading is not only for servants.
Mrs. Osborne.
Yes?
Why?
Any other questions about the care and handling of men? Now, there are several other little items we should take up. For example, no young bride should dare start her married life without a complete silver service for 48.
Cheer up, Mr. Pomfret. Everything will turn out fine. You'll see.
Sure, Mr. Pomfret. You'll love it out there in that ice cream truck. Very healthy.
Maynard.
They cannot say that I deserted a sinking ship.
Mr. Pomfret, where are you going?
To make sure that Central High's last hours are filled with glory, I'm going to see those classes are run properly to the bitter end.
Mrs. Osborne's class, too?
Well, no. The end doesn't have to be that bitter.
How my love is burning, burning, burning. How my heart is yearning, yearning, yearning to be down among the sheltering palms. Oh, honey, wait. Back to the anvil chorus. All the little raindrops are pattering, tittering and pattering, tittering and...
One,
two, three, four. Close by the sturdy batsman, the ball unheeded sped. "'Tain't my style," said Casey. "Strike one," the umpire said. And then from the bleachers, black with people, there arose...
Hiawatha?
By the shores of Kitchigoma, by the shining big sea water, stood the wigwam of Nokomis, daughter of the moon. Oh, you old Nokomis. Then from the bleachers, black with people, there arose a mighty roar, like the beating of the storm waves on some stern and distant shore. "Kill him! Kill the umpires!"
Yep, that was the day the teachers disappeared. Pretty scary, huh? Well, the night they came back wasn't exactly the calmest either.
Order! Or do I have to bring another gavel on somebody's head? Now, in view of our recent experiences at the high school, the board insisted that we have this meeting with teachers as soon as you are able to be back on your feet.
Yeah, well, most of the teachers have recovered, and they're here tonight, Mrs. Osborne.
Okay, let's can the chatter and get down to business. Pomfret, just what sort of a ridiculous raise did you teachers intend to ask for?
Well, we'd hoped for $15 a month, but we're willing to settle for $7.50 and hot lunches.
Hot lunches. Mister, you are fooling with Mr. Herbert T. Gillis, and I do not fool quick. $15 a month. Did you hear that? $15. Ha!
I'll say 20.
I'll say 25.
I'll say 35.
35?
Oh, I don't want to be an old stick in the mud, but where are we going to get the money?
Simple. We'll just float a bond issue and just show me one guy in this town who's so stingy he'll vote against it.
That answers my question, and as chairman of the board, I insist the teachers get $40 raise and like it. Meeting adjourned, and I have no patience with back talk.
catch my gal and he stole her love from me. Don't send a monkey to the store to bring home bananas for your appetite. You send a monkey to the store to bring home bananas you won't eat tonight. Don't send an elephant to the store to bring home peanuts like the fella tells. You send an elephant to the store to bring home peanuts, you'll get peanut shells. Oh yeah, yeah, my buddy asked to borrow my car, so what was I to do? Oh, I let my buddy take my car and he took my baby out too. Don't send a rabbit to the store to bring home carrots and put them on the shelf. You send a rabbit to the store to bring home carrots, he'll eat them all himself.
Boy, he was a rough one to handle. A real man-eater. Every time I got near him, I had to count my fingers. You know, you just wouldn't think a lion could think like that.
Remember, this sacred lion is a gift from my prince for the people of America. He must be well cared for.
You rang? Man, somebody sure needs a new transmission. Hey, if you're looking for the zoo, it's back that way. Turn left at the drinking fountain. Hey, 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 you must be like a lion or something, huh? Huh? Yeah, a tall cat. Yeah. Oh, no, with that hairdo, you must be like a lion. Yeah. Ooh, I seen you on the Late Show on TV last night. Yeah.
Dobie!
Yeah. You're a good lion. Yeah. Fine. Yeah. Uh-oh. Here's the 5-minute bell. Hey, I gotta cut out. Keep smiling, lion. Yeah. Goodbye.
My friend Maynard G. Krebs has one amazing quality that sets him apart from ordinary people. Is he handsome? No. Rich? Uh-uh. Brilliant? Maynard? But he is original. You've got to give him that. I mean, his head can come up with the wildest, most fantastic stories you ever heard. Especially if he has to. Like when he gets in trouble and needs an excuse. Boy, those excuses. Step on it, Maynard. You're late again.
I couldn't help it. I was walking along mine like my own business.
Maynard, please. I haven't got time to hear another one of your harebrained excuses.
Where do you hear this one? It's a Lulu and the truth, a true Lulu.
Maynard, come on to class.
Wait, though,
Maynard!
I was ankling along in the park, minding my own business, when all of a sudden...
I know. All of a sudden, this pink and white giraffe trotted in, and you had to stop to shake hands.
Don't that's silly. Who ever heard of a giraffe in a park?
I'm glad you realize it.
Sure, I didn't see no giraffe.
I believe you.
It was a lion.
Maynard, enough!
Like, hi. Hey, what are you doing here? No, you can't come in here. The Board of Education's got rules about it. Nobody's allowed to go to class unless he's registered. Oh, I know. You're like lonesome. But you'll have to wait out there in the jungle till school's out. I'll dig you later. Where did everybody go?
Young hero captures wild beast. That's Maynard. The hero, not the wild beast. Maynard G. Krebs, Central High student, will be rewarded today by the fabulously wealthy Oriental potentate, Prince Dumafan of Imbodia. When interviewed, young Krebs' only comment was,
like, wow.
Is that all you can say?
Like, wow, wow. Hey, Dobie, think maybe I'll get a reward of $5, huh?
$5? $2. Maynard.
75 cents.
Listen, Maynard, why do you think I'm giving up my whole afternoon to come along with you?
Because you're my good buddy, Dobe.
Right, but it's not only that. You'll need somebody to help you carry all this stuff home.
What stuff? Who knows?
Rubies.
Rubies.
Emeralds.
Emeralds.
Diamonds.
Diamonds.
Palaces.
Palaces.
When you find an Oriental potentate's pet lion, there's no telling how big a reward you might get.
Rubies, diamonds, emeralds, palaces. Wow.
Yeah, come on, let's go, Maynard.
Yeah. Hey, Dobe, maybe we should have brung a bag. Like, greetings. Could you hip his royal lordship that we're here...
Maynard, please. Kindly inform His Radiance that his guests Maynard G. Krebs and Dobie Gillis await, trembling lest they be blinded by his imperial splendor.
It shall be done. Please enter.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Hey, Dobe, where's he learn all that bowing and imperial splendor and his radiance and all like that?
I've been studying up on it.
Yeah, you never know when you might meet Grace Kelly or Duke Snyder.
I am Mr. Huggins of Washington. This is Mr. Hargrove. Which one is Driggs?
Krebs, Maynard G.
Oh, excellent. A fine young man like you is certain to make a favorable impression.
Hold it a minute, Dad. I'm Maynard G. Krebs.
Yeah.
We could always say he got stuck in the elevator and couldn't make it.
Oh, dear.
Well, what are we worrying about? I'm sure when this young man realizes the seriousness of a situation, he'll be a credit to his country. Besides, he's already been announced.
Perhaps we should fill them in before they meet the Wazir.
Wazir?
Yes, Prince Dumafon's Chief of Staff, Prime Minister, and aide-de-camp.
Ooh, 3 Wazirs.
Prince Dumafon is busy on a sociological survey of American culture. His Excellency, the Grand Wazir, will make the presentation.
They've come to this country to sign an oil treaty, and frankly, the affair has reached a critical stage.
His Excellency, the Grand Wazir of Imbodia, Abdul Ali Hakim.
Your Excellency.
The ceremonial Grisak.
God bless you.
Immediately.
At once, O noble Wazir.
It was considered grave insult to my country when Sacred Lion was allowed to escape. However, brave boy, wipe out insult and shall be rewarded. Now, which one of you brave boys found Lion?
A young Driggs here.
Krebs. Like, hi, Waz. This is my good buddy, Dobie. He helped, too.
He's good. Step forward, both of you. First, we drink a toast to His Imperial Radiance, Prince Dumafon, Pearl of the Orient, Avenger of the East.
Well, I'm sorry, sir, but my father doesn't allow me to drink alcoholic beverages.
Mine neither.
Oh, it's not alcohol. It's native drink of Imbodia. Grisak, what you would call milk.
Oh,
Is good, honest goat's milk, slightly aged for flavor. Now, brave boy, I give you highest honor of Imbodia, Order of Golden Dipper. With this order comes several ceremonial gifts symbolic of His Radiance's gratitude. The first will be a pound of red
rubies?
Rhubarb from Royal Garden. Also a box of
emeralds.
Envelopes and stationery from Royal Stationery Store. And finally will be given 1 dozen very large
We know, diapers from Royal Diapers.
No, diamonds.
Diamonds?
Yes, as soon as they are discovered in Imbodia. So far we have been digging for 900 years. No luck, but very shortly. Congratulations, my boy. We shall meet again tomorrow at the zoo, at which time His Imperial Radiance shall present Sacred Lion to your city. That is, of course, if no one allows Lion to escape, in which case, no presentation, no oil treaty, no nothing.
Well, I'm sure there'll be no further trouble to Lion, Your Excellency.
He's better not be. Wait, almost forgot. Is one more gift that comes along with Order of Golden Dipper. Most important of all.
I knew it. He was saving it for last.
Whoever holds Order of Golden Dipper, entitled to all free, slightly aged for flavor, goat's milk he can drink. Forever.
God bless you. Hey, Lion. Hey, it's me, your old buddy, Maynard from the park. What's the matter? Don't you dig me no more? Hey, you're acting like a caged-up lion. Yeah, that's what you are, caged-up lion. Boy, Jailsville, all cooped up with people staring at you. No more running, no more jumping, no more hacking around the waterhole with them other lions. Yeah, if I was you, I'd be pretty much down the dumps, too. I had a duck once. He didn't like to be locked up either, so I let him go. And a baby alligator and a chipmunk, they all got let go. So how come you don't? Well, you ain't gonna stay penned up in there no more, you hear? No, sir. Any friend of Maynard G. Krebs ought to be as free as a bird, even if he's a lion.
Maynard, does he remember you?
I think he's like trying to forget me.
Oh.
Hey, Dope, I got an idea.
I don't like it.
You haven't even heard it yet.
I don't have to. I know your ideas.
No, listen, have you ever thought about having a little pet? You know, that woman could like old partners on?
What kind of a pet?
Oh, you know, like a little dog or a cat or a chipmunk or a duck
or a lion?
Good thinking. Yeah, if you want a lion for a pet, you can keep him in my room. My folks have been up there for years.
Maynard, people just don't go around stealing lions, especially when they're gifts from the Prince of Embodia.
But it's such a very unhappy lion all scrunched up in that little bitty cage.
Maynard, that's an absurd, impossible, fantastic, ridiculous notion.
Dope, don't be bashful. Just come right out and say you don't like it.
I don't like it.
You don't?
No. Maynard, please. Just forget about the lion, okay?
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Hey, Dope. Can I borrow your father's truck tonight?
What for?
It's like an emergency.
An emergency?
My hi-fi's broke.
Oh, yeah, sure, Maynard. The key's under the floor mat.
Thanks, Dope. You're like a real human being.
Yeah. Thank you, Maynard.
Give me the police. Yes, the police department, quick. Hello? And this is Herbert T. Gillis of the Gillis Grocery Store, and I want to report a stolen truck. Sure, I'm sure. I just went out there in the alley, right out there where I always keep it, and it's stark empty. The alley! How do I know with the truck? The truck isn't there. Now, you listen to me. I am a taxpayer and a veteran with the good conduct medal, and I demand that...
Dad, did you say truck?
Oh, I should have thought of that. All right, where's the truck?
Huh? Well,
just a minute. I'll call back. It looks like an inside job. All right, boy, out with it. How many fenders did you smash? How many doors did you rip off?
No, Dad. It's nothing like that.
What?
Like, hi, Mr. Gillis. Smooth-looking truck you got out there.
Truck? Where?
Where?
Like there.
Where have you been with the truck? You almost got me into trouble.
I got a confession, Dope. My hi-fi's all right. At least it was last night. It's kind of squashed now.
Squashed?
Yeah, just where the lion sat on it.
The lion?
Yeah, my room was a little crowded, so I kind of had to change plans.
Maynard.
Yeah, me and the lion, we've been driving around all night.
Maynard, let me get this straight. You mean the lion in the truck?
Dobie! Come here, quick!
Dad, wait.
Wait, what? This is a rush order. Open the truck door for me.
Yeah, let me have those boxes, Dad. You're going to take a nice nap.
A nap? It's only 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, well, it's a good idea to take a nap before you get tired.
You are sick, boy. Now stop yammering and open the truck door.
Oh, the door's like glue, Mr. Gillis. See?
Oh, what's the matter with you characters? Look out. Do I have to do everything myself? Let go of me,
Dad.
Dobie. What is the matter with you? I don't know what it is.
Dad.
What's the matter?
Dad,
Have you
look.
flipped your trolleys or something? I'm
Dad,
trying to get groceries delivered here.
I'm only trying to save wear and tear on your poor old back. Come on, Maynard. Let's go. We can take these up in front. Bye, Dad.
Yeah, like bye-bye, Mr. Gillis. 8:30, and I'm a nervous wreck on it. Well, it's too chilly to stand around out here worrying about it.
Come on, Maynard.
What am I going to say, Dope? I'm like scared.
Just get Prince Dumafon on the phone and tell him you've got his lion.
the ringing. Just confess the whole thing. Calmly. Confess the whole thing. Calmly.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
Confess the whole thing calmly. I'll be all right.
Yeah.
Calmly.
Calmly.
I'll be all right.
Hello?
Blake, please don't lock me up. I'm innocent.
Come on, Maynard.
Hello.
This is Maynard G. Krebs.
Ah, yes, Mr. Krebs. What can I do for you?
He has to speak to his radiance.
Could I speak to his radiator?
Maynard, radiance.
Radiance.
I'm sorry, Mr. Krebs. His radiance is still busy with his sociological survey. May I be of service?
Could I speak to the wazir then?
His Excellency the Wazir will not return until noon. He is out walking the royal poodles.
I'll phone back like later. He won't be back till noon.
Oh. Your truck?
Oh, yeah.
Well, get it out of here. It's in a loading zone.
Yes.
Now what are we gonna do, Dobe?
You've got no choice, Maynard. If I told you once, I told you 1,000 times.
Get rid of the lion.
Yeah.
Okay, good buddy.
Good luck, Maynard.
Lion, I'm thinking. We gotta find a place to hide you till that Prince Cat gets back. But where? Oh, I know. I'll call Zelda. She'll know where. Oh, yeah. Call Zelda.
Hi, man. What's the scene?
Like, hi, Riff. What were you doing in that phone booth?
That's no phone booth. That's like the front door to our far-out coffee house.
The inside at the outside?
What else?
Man, like it's pretty small, Riff.
Dig.
Oh, crazy.
Get the picture. You got creditors? You gotta play it cool? Be my guest.
Yeah, well, I got like a friend along, Riff.
Cuckoo. Any chum of yours will never be left outside at the inside of the outside.
Well, maybe I shouldn't mention this, but my friend's like a lion, you know?
Look, man, I don't care what he does for a living. Just so long as he's a cat.
Crazy.
Look like alive, Prudence. Customers coming.
Oh.
Table for two?
Man, this caffeine scene's a profound gas. Table for two, huh? Of course, gets a little mixed up during these 3-day sessions.
Cigars, cigarettes, catnip?
Like, no thanks.
Here you are. Nice, quiet table for two. Something not too near the orchestra. Got you covered. How's this? Nice, quiet deuce.
Hey, that's a real cool bongo.
The imp? Yeah, he swings. Well, if there's anything you want, just growl.
See, Lion? We're home free.
Excuse me, cats.
What gives, Daddy-O?
I don't want to bug you, but that cat's hot. You gotta make like Mandrake.
Like why?
Like friend Leo from Lionsville. He's like wanted. I mean, it's like posse time. I mean, you know what I mean? It's a definite split.
Like I don't dig.
Like Reed.
Sacred lion stolen from zoo. Like thief hunted. Like international incident threatened. Like entire police force alerted.
Like authorities promise quick and merciless punishment to the culprits, whoever they may be.
Man, like the fat's in the fire.
Yeah, and the fuzz is in the foyer.
Police!
The boy's in blue.
Rip, is there no way out of this pad?
Oh, you cats cool it. We'll like head them off at the pass. Come on, Tonto.
All right, who left that delivery truck out there?
Like what delivery truck?
Cigars, cigarettes.
No, thank you. The one in the alley.
Like what alley?
Like the alley outside.
Oh, man. This is the inside at the outside. We ain't got no outside here at the inside at the outside.
Like man, no.
Like out of my way. You with the furry chin.
Me, sir?
What's your name?
My name, sir?
Yeah, your name. What's the matter with you?
Me, sir? Nothing, sir.
Well, then sit up, boy, and tell me your name.
Krebs, sir. Maynard G, sir.
Is that your truck outside?
Yes, sir.
Well, you're gonna get yourself a little parking ticket, Krebs. Ordinance 208. Illegal overtime parking in a 5-minute loading zone. You delivery boys have been getting away with murder. You think all we got to do is... Hey!
We're wanted criminals.
Oh, hi, Maynard. What did the prince say when you gave his lion back to him?
Well, not much, though.
Oh? Well, how do you explain that?
It's easy. I didn't give his lion back to him. He was still missing.
Maynard, get him out of here!
Why, is your father around?
No, we went to a lodge meeting, but we can't keep that animal in here.
Sure we can. He's got a very small appetite for a lion.
Maynard, enough is enough! Now, we... Get him out of here. Hide him.
Where are you going to hide a lion?
The truck.
It's too late.
The freezer.
Yeah. Well, that's a pretty picture.
Yeah, just doing a little dusting.
Well,
Dad.
it's dustier down here. Get a broom, why don't you?
Dad, I thought you went to an important lodge meeting.
It was a very short meeting. Some lunkhead forgot to bring the cards.
Oh.
Dad, get out of my way.
Anything I get you, Mr. Gillis?
Yes, there's something you can get me. You can get out of my way.
Dad.
Down at the meeting, I meet this Ogilvy, the meat packer, and I'm going to take some of that third-grade meat he's been palming off on me and shove it down his throat.
Meat? Like in the freezer?
Well, it ain't like in a vegetable bin. Get out of my way. What's the matter with you? Wait! Buster, what do you think's taking him so long in there?
His Radiance has been doing extensive sociological research during his trip. He has just returned to the hotel.
Well, I hope they don't go too hard on him. After all, you know, they're not bad boys. That is, they're not bad boys.
Yeah, but they're no Paul Revere's either.
You realize these boys have just ruined a treaty that we've worked on for 5 years?
Well, what do you think they'll do to him?
That's for his Imperial Radiance to decide. It's his lion.
They don't call him Prince Doomathon the Avenger for nothing.
His Imperial Radiance, Prince Doomathon, Pearl of the Orient, Avenger of the East. O Pearl of the Orient, thy will shall be done.
The imp. The imp? Yeah, the Pharaoh bongo player from the inside at the outside. What?
What say you, sire, O noble Avenger of the East?
The one with the beard is a cool cat. So leave him and his friends alone.
As you say, Radiance.
Oh, yes. While we're at it, we might as well sign that old oil treaty, too.
Your wish is my command, Radiance.
Like Ooba-Ba-Doo and Ooba-Ba-Dee. I played it cool with you, like, nah, man, don't cop out on me, huh?
Everything turned out fine. The lion, well, he's on his way back to Embodia. The imp, that is, his imperial radiance, promised Maynard they'd let the lion loose in his own jungle. The Washington boys, well, they got their oil contract. Me? I got the keys to the truck taken away from me for letting Maynard use it. And Maynard, what did he get? Well, he got a liking for goat's milk, slightly aged for flavor.
150 words, which we will call Whither Are We Drifting?
Whither are we drifting?
Yes, Mr. Gillis, whither? By the time a young person is ready to graduate from high school, he should have some inkling of the direction his life is going to take. But as I look out at your smiling, vacant faces, the mind boggles when I consider that from among you must come our future statesmen, scientists, philosophers, thinkers.
You rang?
Our teacher, Mr. Pomfret's a pretty decent fellow. For a teacher, that is. He actually teaches us kids how to think. I mean, take something like this, Whither Are We Drifting jazz. When we started here at Central High School 4 years ago, we would have hollered and screamed and carried on like crazy if a teacher stuck us with an assignment like that. But now?
And the assignment must be turned in by next Tuesday. Oh, please, now, a simple groan would have been sufficient.
Mr. Pomfret, sir, do you have to keep slapping us with homework? We're almost like ready to graduate.
What difference does it make, Maynard? You never did your homework even when you weren't like almost ready to graduate.
I know, but it's like the principle of the thing. I don't even know if I want to graduate. I've been happy here at Central High School with you, Mr. Pomfret, sir.
Thank you, Maynard. I'm deeply touched.
My 3 years in the 12th grade have been like the best I ever spent.
Maynard. Mr. Pomfret, you mean you want us to write about what we're going to be? Doctors, lawyers, scientists, sheet metal workers, like that?
Well, that's only part of it, Dobie. I want you to tell me what you expect out of life. For example, Betty Jean Milhausen, what do you want out of life?
A fella.
No, I mean, whither are you drifting?
Well, any place where they got fellas.
Can't you be a little more specific, Miss Milhausen?
What's a specific?
Go to it, Miss Milhausen. Find yourself a fella. And now, class, what I want these essays to tell me is what kind of life you expect to lead, what goals you hope to attain, what horizons you expect to reach. Now, I hope the assignment is clear, perfectly clear.
Do we have to do it?
You have to do it, Maynard.
It's clear.
Whither are we drifting? Sounds like an easy question, doesn't it? Well, it is easy until you have to answer it. I pondered and thought and racked my head. But it was Maynard who came up with an idea.
Hey, let's go to the movies.
Now, I'm trying to answer a question about our whole life, and you talk about the movies.
Yeah, let's get out of the Bijou before the prices change.
No, Maynard.
They're showing The Monster Who Devoured Cleveland.
No, Maynard.
Second feature is Attila and His Merry Men.
No, Maynard.
Third feature is Space Tennis.
No, Maynard.
Fourth feature is John
Maynard.
Dillinger, American. The fifth, sixth, and seventh features is Gone with the Wind.
Maynard, we are not going to the movies. I've got an essay to write. You've got an essay to write. Whither are we drifting?
I don't know whither we are drifting. I don't even know what it means.
It means where are we going?
To the movies.
No, Maynard, we're not going to the movies. We're going to sit right there and think.
Like that naked cat?
Exactly.
We'll get arrested.
We'll keep our clothes on.
Good, it's like chili.
Now sit right here and think.
Like this?
Yeah, that's about right.
You know, this thinking business is pretty new for me.
I know.
You sure it'll work?
Try, Maynard, try. Got anything?
Yeah, a backache.
Maynard, stop eating and listen to me.
Sure, Dope, have a peanut.
Not now, Maynard. Now listen. We've got to put in some heavy brain work on this essay, Whither Are We Drifting? I mean, we'll be graduating from high school soon. We've got to have some kind of plan.
Why?
Because you can't just stumble blindly through life, that's why.
You're wrong, Dobe. There's nothing else you can do. I mean, whenever you want to make a plan, they won't let you do it anyhow.
Who won't?
They won't.
Who's they?
You know them, your mother, your father, them teacher cats at school.
No, Maynard, you're taking the cowardly way out, blaming somebody else. If there's something you really want to do, nobody will stand in your way.
Dobe.
We're the captains of our destiny, the masters of our fate.
Dobe.
If you want to do something, go ahead and do it. Nothing can stop you.
Dobe.
What is it, Maynard?
There's one thing that can stop us.
Oh, there is. Yes, there is. Hi, Officer Dugan.
Like, hi.
Hi. I've been following you boys for 12 blocks.
Yep, it's us, all right.
Yeah.
Who else would it be? Except the cast of a jungle movie with that trail of peanut shells.
Maynard.
Now, look, you've been cluttering up the sidewalk, obstructing traffic, and ruining the looks of our fair city. Now, what do you got to say for yourselves?
Well,
care for a peanut?
I'm going to give you a warning citation.
Maynard, I begged you 1,000 times. Don't throw shells in the street.
Hey, you boys can't sit on that bench.
Huh?
It's just been painted.
Like, uh-oh.
Now, don't let it happen again, or the street cleaners will ride you out of town on a broom.
Yes, sir, Officer Dugan. Come on, Maynard, we'll go over to the park.
Halt. Yeah. The park's closed on account of a picnic.
Oh, then we'll go over to the playground.
Yeah. Halt. The playground's closed for construction work.
Oh, well, gee, where can we go?
Well, wherever you please. It's a free country.
Oh.
Make sure you break no park rule, city
Yes,
ordinance, state law,
Yes, sir.
federal regulation, or get in my way.
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Or the sergeant's. Now, he's touchy.
Uh-huh. Yes,
Dobe, I'm getting dizzy. You're like a real human being, Officer Dugan.
Uh-huh.
Glad to be of help, boys.
Thank you, sir.
But don't let me catch you hanging around on street corners or I'll have to run you in.
See what I mean about plans? Whenever you want to do something, one of them sneaks up behind you and pulls out the rug from underneath you.
Crap!
I gotta admit you got a point, Maynard. But look at it this way. We'll be out of school pretty soon and people will stop telling us what to do. We'll have to make our own decisions. Then what happens?
What happens? Man, you're joshing. I'll sleep till noon, eat nothing but donuts, and spend the rest of my life in a record store.
It's a beautiful dream, Maynard.
Yeah, ain't it? Sleep, donuts, and jazz. Who could ask for anything more?
You could. You will.
I will?
Of course you will. Remember a few years ago when you wanted a pony so bad? That's all you wanted in the whole world, a pony. Do you still want a pony, Maynard?
A pony, Dobe? That's kid stuff.
Yeah, and the next year you spent 6 months building a racing car out of a soapbox and 2 pairs of roller skates. Boy, how proud you were of that racing car. Where is it now, Maynard?
How should I know? It's like I say, that's kid stuff.
Yeah, and then there was a summer you built the treehouse. Then you raised guppies. Then you walked on stilts. Then you played marbles. Marbles, man, I bet you had 10,000 of them.
Yeah.
All right, Maynard, how about the marbles, the stilts, the guppies, and the treehouse now? Still interested?
Me? Are you kidding? I'm like a grown man. I got like a beard.
Aha.
Aha, what?
Aha, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You outgrew the marbles and the stilts, and you'll outgrow the jazz.
Me outgrow jazz? You gotta be kidding. Jazz is my whole life. I'm a member of the Beat Generation.
Oh, knock it off.
Sure I am, Dobe. Look at me. I'm a real protest cat.
Maynard, you don't even know what the Beat Generation is.
Oh, don't I?
All right, what does beat mean?
Well, it's... Well, anyhow, I know what generation means.
What?
It means it's, Can I go back to beat, Dobe?
Maynard, you're no beatnik. You're just a guy who grew a beard so he could sit on the floor and listen to jazz.
Yeah, Thelonious Monk, Dizzy Gillespie, Miles Davis,
Yeah.
Gloria Wood.
Pretty soon you'll get tired of that game, too. The beard, the jazz, the sloppy clothes. Just like you got tired of the guppies and the stilts and the marbles.
You mean I'll outgrow it?
That's what I mean.
You mean I'll be like a grown-up?
You'll be like a grown-up.
Dobe?
Yeah?
I don't like it.
See, I've already done some writing on this essay. My name and the date. But I still don't know whither we are drifting. I mean, here we are minding our own business, and we find ourselves fouled up like this. And it isn't even our fault.
The fault of our fathers and mothers and parents.
True, Maynard, but they're not really so bad. I mean, they got their problems, too.
Yeah, I guess so. My father must have problems. On account he cries a lot.
He does?
Yeah, especially when he sees me. I wonder why.
No offense, Maynard, but if you were your father and saw you, what would you do?
Cry.
No offense.
Well, it could have been worse.
Oh? How?
What if I'd been a girl? With this beard and these clothes, then he has something to cry about, huh?
Yeah, Maynard, let's get back to whither are we drifting.
Do we have to?
We have to. Now, the way I look at it, we're in this mess on account of our parents. You see, the trouble with parents is that all they ever teach us is fun and games, and then all of a sudden playtime's over. Whither you drifting, they say. Shape up, young fella. Life is real. Life is earnest. Well, sure it's real. Sure it's earnest. But why did they wait so long to tell us?
Well, how could they tell us any sooner? We were too young.
We're still too young. Why are we still too young?
Why, Dobe?
Because they kept us young. They didn't let us grow up. They protected us. They coddled us.
They pushed us around pretty good, too.
It's all part of the same thing, Maynard. It's like when you had a little dog when you were a kid. You hug it and squeeze it and tickle its belly, but every once in a while you give it a slap on the nose, too. Well, that's what they've done, Maynard. Made pets of us.
That's a crummy trick.
Well, it is and it isn't. I mean, their hearts were in the right place. They wanted us to have all the advantages. They wanted to keep us safe and warm and protect us from the cruel world. And maybe that's a good thing. I mean, remember when we studied child labor in the Industrial Revolution last year in history?
I flunked, Dobe.
Well, anyhow, little kids used to go to work in factories when they were 4 years old, and they suffered and died and never had any childhood at all. So our parents, being civilized and all that, wanted to make sure we had a childhood. They just didn't know when to stop is all. I mean, they keep treating you like a kid year after year, and then one day they turn around and say, stop acting like a kid.
It don't seem fair.
Well, maybe that's the first lesson. Life isn't fair.
And you know something else that ain't fair?
What?
The size of these bags. I'm all out of donuts.
Maynard, I get the feeling you like donuts.
Yeah, and they're like stuff with vitamins, too.
Hello, Dobie, Maynard.
Oh, hi, Mr. Pomfrey.
Hi, Mr. Pomfret, sir.
Now, how are you boys coming along on your essays?
Like miserable.
We don't know where to start.
Well, you might begin by writing some ideas about your future work.
Work!
Is that always his response when he hears the word work?
Work!
Does that answer your question, sir? Mm-hmm. Mr. Pomfret, what kind of employment do you think we ought to start thinking about?
Good buddy. You don't have to protect me by using them 4-bit words. I know what employment means, and I can take it. It means work. Work!
Why fight it?
Yeah.
All right, boys. What sort of employment is most interesting to you?
How about something in the executive line?
Oh, good thinking, Maynard. There's a big demand for 18-year-old executives, especially with beards.
No, we just can't sit around doing nothing. Hey, can we?
No, Maynard. You have to find jobs.
Hey, Dobe, you can get a job in your father's store.
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, a fellow likes to make it on his own.
Besides, your father wouldn't pay you.
True.
So what can we do?
I don't know. Get a job in a gas station?
Too dirty.
Factory?
Too noisy.
Construction gang?
Too hard.
You know something, boys?
What, sir?
Somehow I get a slight hint that you don't really want to work.
Work!
Darn it, he's got me doing it.
Yeah, Mr. Pomfret, aren't we getting all worried up too soon? I mean, before we start figuring out what we're going to do, we'll probably get drafted.
Drafted?
Maynard, please, save that for work.
Work!
Well, now, the Army is an important factor in your futures, of course.
Yeah.
But when you get out, you're right back where you started and a couple of years older.
What's the problem? When we get out of the Army, we'll just sit back and collect our pensions the rest of our lives.
Maynard, we won't get pensions for one hitch.
Details.
Yeah. And, Mr. Pomfret, I don't suppose there's much chance of us getting into a good college.
Yeah, let's go to college and wear raccoon coats and swing with them frat cats. Like Rob, like Rob.
A commendable goal, Maynard, but don't forget, for every seat in every American college, there are 10 applicants.
10 kids in one seat? Oh, man, that can be like too comfortable.
No, Maynard, only one gets in, which means you have to be a top-notch student if you want to go to college.
Well, that's me out.
Yeah.
You too.
Yeah.
No offense.
No offense.
No, boys, you're giving up too easily. Now, if you really want to go to college, just apply yourselves. You can do it.
Me, Mr. Pomfret?
Of course.
Me too, Mr. Pomfret, sir?
Who knows? After all, it's the age of miracles.
Hey, I got like a better idea. Don't graduate from high school. Keep flunking.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I didn't think you'd like it.
No.
I got like another idea.
What?
When we finish this high school, we change our names and start all over at another one.
Maynard, I think the donuts have reached your brain.
Hey, Dobe, what are we worrying about the future for?
What do you mean?
I know where we can get the answer, and cheap, too. Come on. Yeah, come on.
This is where you're going to find out about the future?
Sure, Dobe, and only a penny.
Maynard.
Oh, boy. You weigh 145 pounds, are inclined to make friends easily, and inclined to put things off. That's me, all right, Dobe. How do these machines know all that stuff?
Brain power, Maynard. Brain power.
Yeah, brain power. Hey, Dobe, where's your father?
Out in the delivery. Why?
Oh, well, 'cause he's like faster than you are. Maynard! Hey, Dobe, looky. The new Teenage Gazette. Yeah. Hey, Dobe, how about this?
How about what?
The letter in the magazine. Dear editor, In these troubled times of which we are now undergoing, I can't think of no one who would unite the world and make everybody good friends like Elvis Presley for president. Signed, Elvis Reuter. Hey, how about that, though? This cat's name is Elvis, too. Elvis Reuter.
Yeah, Maynard, it means he roots for Elvis.
Hey, maybe this answer for us. Politics.
For politics. We can't even vote.
So who's gonna vote? Well, just run.
Run?
Yeah. Friends and fellow Americans, the situation is indeed a grave.
Maynard, there's no A, just grave.
Yeah, just grave. And friends and fellow Americans, I promise that if elected, I will serve the people without fear or flavor.
Maynard, that's favor.
Yeah, making speeches, kissing babies, getting my picture in the paper, debating on TV, and then when it's all over, I do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the United States. And then move into the White House. Man, what a swinging pad. And I get to sleep in Lincoln's bed.
Yeah.
He's out of it, ain't he, Dope?
Yeah, he's out of it, Maynard. With you in it, he's well out of it.
Yeah, and then I walk along and them Secret Service cats follow me, and all the big shots come up, tip the hats and say, "Good morning, Mr. President. What are we going to do about inflation? Good morning, Mr. President. What are we going to do about Russia? Good morning, Mr. President. What are we going to do about China?" Inflation? Russia? China? Dope?
Huh?
I do not choose to run.
Maynard, on behalf of America and the free world, thank you.
Hey, look at these real-life adventure magazines. I was a grizzly bear for 6 months. Hey, Dope?
No, Maynard, we can't be grizzly bears. We gotta be fellas and grow up.
Yeah. Hey, these real-life adventure magazines are pretty cool, and there's so many of them. Look. I was 4 inches from death. I was 3.5 inches from death. I was 2 7/8 inches from death. I was dead.
Maynard, why do you keep clowning? We got problems.
That's why I keep clowning, good buddy.
Maynard, that essay's due tomorrow. Now, we've got to be brave and face up to it. The future's closing in on us.
Dope, I don't mind facing something that's got a face to face me back with, but this future, Jazz, it's got no face. It's just kind of like a big, dark, damn, scary blob. If the future wants me, it's gonna have to come and find me.
Oh, things aren't as bad as all that. I mean, there's a bright side, too.
Like what?
Like girls.
Oh, no. No, sir. Not me. Negative. I'll never have a girl. Never.
You used to say you'd never get off your stilts.
You mean there's a time coming when I'll really and truly want a girl?
Maynard, don't you dig love?
What do I know about love?
Oh, come on, Maynard. Lots of people love you.
Like who?
Like your father and mother.
They got no choice.
I love you.
You got no choice either. You're hooked.
Me? How?
Look, Dope, I'm not exactly easy to love. I mean, take a look at me. I'm like a mess. I mean, if somebody wants to love me, they got like a lot of obstacles to climb over. Like true?
Like true.
It's like climbing over a real high fence, kind of. It's hard. But once you get over that big old fence, it's even harder to climb back. It's like easier to stay in there loving me than to bust out.
Maynard, I won't stand here and let you run yourself down. It just so happens that you're one of the most truly lovable guys in the whole world.
Not half as lovable as you.
Oh, come on, Maynard.
True, Dope. Why, I bet if there's a lovable contest, you'd win it in a breeze.
Oh, I'd come in second, maybe.
No, first. First by a country mile. Oh, no. It's a slug.
Well, maybe first by a few feet, not a country mile.
Okay, but first.
You know what? I think we'd probably tie.
Maybe you're right. I mean, we're both so doggone lovable.
Okay, that's a good Maybe my future won't be such a problem after all. My immediate future, that is. I may be back in high school next year because I may flunk English, because I've not written an essay on Whither Are We Drifting, because I don't know.
And so, when I ask myself, whither am I drifting, I must answer, into the future, forward, because that's where the future is. Perhaps I will work in an office where there will be lots of fellas, or perhaps I will go to college, coeducational, of course, because fellas go there too. Or perhaps I will go forward into marriage, because there's sure to be a fellow there. I thank you.
Thank you, Miss Milhausen. I don't know whether to give you a grade or shower you with rice.
I'll take the rice.
Good thinking. The next essay will be that of Courage Class, Maynard G. Krebs.
Whither I Am Drifting, an essay in not less than 250 words by Maynard G. Krebs. When I decided to write Whither Am I Drifting, I decided to write it in the midst of the surroundings in which I was brought up in, whither I have drifted from. So I went into the backyard where my father wishes I would spend more time anyhow. And I sat down to write my essay next to my old dog, Spot. Spot is a wonderful old dog who is smarter than most people, even me. But Spot has one bad habit. He chews up things. He chews up tires. He chews up old shoes. He chews up rags. He chews up...
A pity, Mr. Krebs. A literary masterpiece down the drain, so to speak. The next essay will... Dobie Gillis, you don't happen to have a dog, do you?
No, sir. I don't have an essay either.
May one ask why not?
Mr. Pomfret, what do I know about my future? Nothing. What am I prepared for? Nothing. People used to say to me, what are you going to be when you grow up? And I'd say, I don't know. Well, I'm grown up. At least that's what people say. And the answer's still the same. I don't know.
I see. Well, doesn't it scare you a little, Dobie, being so unsure of the future?
Scare me? No. I'd like to know, of course, but I don't think I'm scared exactly. After all, look at all the people who grew up. I wouldn't say they're any smarter than me. No offense.
No offense. So, Dobie, you have no idea what the future holds, and still, it doesn't frighten you?
No, confused a little. In fact, confused a lot. But frightened? No. You see, I keep thinking about a treehouse I had when I was a kid.
A treehouse? Why?
Well, I used to sit up there in the springtime and watch a nest of robins. Every day, Mama Robin used to come home with a worm for the little ones. She'd break it in pieces and feed them all. But one day she came home without a worm. There they were, all the little robins chipping and chirping and begging for food, but Mama just kicked them out of the nest. So what did they do? They flew. Well, sir, I guess it's the same with me. When the time comes, I'll just fly, that's all. I don't know how, but I'll do it, I guess. Well, anyhow, seeing as how I don't know anything about the future, I just couldn't write that essay.
Dobie, my boy, not only have you written that essay, but I'm going to give you an A on it.
Huh?
And as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to give myself an A, too. Now, if there's one thing I want you to carry out of this class, it's confidence in yourselves. Not cockiness, not an arrogant feeling that you know all the answers, but a quiet, solid confidence that no matter what challenge the future brings, you can find within yourselves the resources to meet it.
Me too?
Even you, Maynard. Now, you've had a good upbringing, all of you. You've got a great heritage behind you. Freedom, initiative, and the questing spirit that built this land. And now, in the final weeks of your high school lives, your gruff old teacher would like to get just a little misty. I'm proud of you, kids, for two reasons. First, because you know the road ahead is not going to be easy. And second, because you're not afraid to travel it. All right. Class, dismissed. Well, didn't you hear me? Class dismissed.
Mr. Pomfret, we always go to the malt shop after class.
Yes?
Could we buy you a drink?
Me?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, my young barbarians. Let's go.
Your behavior.
Overwhelmed?
Yeah, but I see Mr. Pomfret in here, so I'm over being whelmed. Yeah. Today, my young barbers...
Maynard, that's barbarian.
Yeah, barbarian. Today we'll discuss the famous music of them famous musical cats, Beethoven, Brahms, and Thelonious Monk. Like quiet, like here, like quiet. Please turn to page 208 in your textbooks and we'll dig into what them long hairs were talking about. Now, my young unemployables are like two kinds of music in this whole world. Bad music and jazz.
And Lawrence Welk.
Why, Mr. Pumpkin?
Like, sit down, Maynard. Horsing around like that. I suppose you didn't do your homework either.
Of course not, sir. I want to get an A.
What do you mean you want to get an A?
I mean, like Dobie got when he didn't turn his essay in.
Maynard.
I'll settle for a B. C? D?
You're getting warm.
F?
You got it, Maynard.
Gee, thanks, Mr. Pumpkin, sir. You were all heart.
I think so.
Dobie. Once a gal who's creamy, Dobie. Once a gal to call his own. Is she blonde? Is she tall? Is she dark? Is she small? Is she any kind of dreamer at all? No matter, he's